Caviar cheer squad. I've found Aaron.
A lot of kids are up on their mums and dads, mainly their dad's shoulders, looking over, waiting for Black Caviar to come in. It's something that a lot of people, when they walk away from this night tonight, it will burn in their memory forever. That's who make up the field. Number one is the stablemate. If she has the perfect stats, she is in the line of fifth horse in the world of racing to go through this campaign or her whole career without being defeated. They're a very good sporting bet. They let her blow on for 1.3 million to win 52,000. Listen, 52 sounds a lot. The race call too when you get to call these horses and
they're off. And Black Caviar jumps evenly down on the inside. Zeddy Knight tries to go with her in the early part. And indeed, Luke Nolan said, you can have the lead. I'll sit back third. And Zeddy Knight at the 600, a half in front. On the outside, Doubtful Jack. A length and a half away then is the great mare Black Caviar. She's just idling along. 2 lengths from the leaders. And then 2 lengths further back is Hollow Lee, Sound Journey, Rock Classic on the rail. Here comes the champion. And she's raced up and gone to the lead around the home turn now. Black Caviar put paid to Zeddy Knight. And then Doubtful Jack, but the crowd roaring for one of the greats of the world. Into the straight she comes, Black Caviar, opening up by 3 lengths. Zeddy Knight boxing on well, but here she is, 17 straight, the invincible one. Black Caviar won it by 3. Zeddy Knight second, 4 lengths, Doubtful Jack, followed in by Rock Classic, Sound Journey, Hollow Lee, and
it's not so much a race anymore. It becomes an event with Black Caviar. The crowd came to see just this section. Listen to this, and Jason Richardson will grab Peter Moody now and have a chat to him. But listen to that crowd, Richard.
Oh, isn't it fantastic? The atmosphere is electric here. I was privileged to be on.
Everybody, Michael, because they admit they got it wrong. Here's Michael Brown talking about the gates being thrown open at the Valley because of that horse there. Just from Friday night, William Hill put up markets. It's amazing that straight up they went 6-1 that both you, Black Caviar, 2006, tweeted, and Frank will remain unbeaten in 2012. Shark, what are you happy to take the 6-1 there?
Oh, very happy, and I'm very glad that
What about this one? 4-5 to win at Royal Ascot, 5-4 on to win the Golden Jubilee now, or 8-1 to become the world's top-ranked horse in 2012.
They're scary, aren't they?
She beat what you'd have to say was a moderate lot. Look at her. She's just poetry in motion. Look at this. This is beautiful to watch.
It's a track gallop.
It's not a track gallop because she's only a 10th outside, just over a 10th outside the course record.
Look at her. Yeah. He's only just rubbing his hands up and down her neck. That's what they do in track gallops.
It's unbelievable.
It is amazing what she does. It is surprising that she hasn't broken more records because Miss Andretti, I think, held 4 or 5 records at one time when she was the dominant sprinter. Now, this mare is
She could breathe.
a better sprinter than Miss Andretti, and but doesn't break the records. It's
But
odd,
she's
isn't
not
it?
asked to break records, and that's why will help her.
In the interests of preservation of the
Of
horse.
course.
Yes, but is that
You
because
can only exert an animal so many times.
is that because the opposition not capable of making a break a record?
Well, maybe that could be the truth. If she has to break a record to win, she will. But now by margins, absolute champion.
But it's a
Absolute champion.
Is the favourite here for this race, a dual acceptor, the emergency here, and Sedcom on Sedcom, the favourite, the emergency. He's now just back out to 230, came into 225 from 2.
Kiss Sedcom midfield on the fence, followed by Youthful King. Brightest is behind it, third last from Sutton Friend and Romanus at the back of the field. Approaching the home turn, about 4:50 to run. And Mr. Bollinger led, he's broken the field up. So Generous in second spot under the whip. Kinnersley hugs the fence next, followed by Magic Weekend. And then Miss Kiss Sedcom is starting to work home now. And then Brightest right down the outside. Mr. Bollinger led, here comes Sedcom, the favourite. Romanus is going with it as they run to the 200. Romanus and Sedcom descended on the lead together. Romanus on the inside and Sedcom on the outside. Romanus and Sedcom. Sedcom's too good. He beat Romanus 3/4. Brightest got third. Then Kinnersley, Mr. Bollinger, Miss Kiss, Magic Weekend. Led by So Generous.
For Chris Fold. There's a divvies on screen through the week. And would you believe it? I've hammered again today. We saw David Hayes emerge with
As long as they neared the turn, where Diamond Earth led by a length to Marta Sun and Sweetener, 2 lengths to Samaready, Clearwater Bay getting up on the inside, and then Formidable and Real Stolly as they cornered. Applegate is still last. Diamond Earth, the leader, 250 to go. Coming after it, Marlasan, Samaready down the outside and Sweetener in the middle. These are the four with 200 to go. Those Samaready just swept on by, sprinted away from them. Look at her go. She's opening up, formidable running on from Sweetener, but Samaready trotted in by 3 lengths brilliantly. Formidable second, Sweetener held third. Members Joy got home from last to get fourth. Then Clearwater Bay, Princeton Miss, Marlasan dropped out and much quicker than the Colts.
There's your Blue Diamond favourite and probably your Blue Diamond winner. 1-3.3 speed the thought, but Mick Price has been talking this up. And that's TVN. You hear from the trainer who tells it exactly as it is, and you could have had $7 this in the week and whatever you liked in the Blue Diamond, 26 and the 21 early in the week, and just put the time on the board here, beating Formidable, who was quick anyway.
Well, prior to the race, and I interviewed Mick, and then speaking to Craig Newitt after the race, Mick said before the race you'd just win, and he said, Richard, the best part is, he said there's a stack of improvement in it. Craig Newitt said the same.
Look, she's the stepping stone. She'll run a very short favourite in the Blue Diamond, and I think she'll have to make a mistake to get beat, judging her by that effort. Unless she's cooked after that, she was just so dominant there.
It'll be part of it here as you see the mare walking behind us. And there's a big cheer squad, the Black Caviar cheer squad, and right amongst us, just around the corner. The market, well, does it really matter in this day and age with her? $1.10, eh? $1.10. Strides over 200 metres in the average racehorse.
But now it's $1.06. You're taking that for your
punters have just come, maybe for this hour either side of it, just to, kids have come along, they can't have the whole day here.
Mike Simon's down. You haven't let anybody down. You've come here in your drives. This is more than a Caulfield Cup crowd for mine. And
last. So Dan Zalem had the lead now, going to the side of the course, a length and a half Midas Touch. In on the rails in third, placing Doubtful Jack. And fourth on the outside is Black Caviar, idling along about 3 lengths away from the leader. Then Playing God, Precedent, Elo's Southern Speed and Efficient is last of all, 8 lengths from the front runner. At the 600, Dan Zalem the leader. Midas Touch is second, a length and a half away. Doubtful Jack. Nolan hasn't gone yet on the great mare, Black Caviar. She's creeping into it. Tracked up by Playing God, Elo, Precedent, Southern Speed and Efficient. Now they're on the swing. Black Caviar within a length of the leader, which is now Midas Touch, who claimed Dan Zalem. Into the straight now, Black Caviar. The awesome racehorse races to the front. She's kicked away now. She's home. She's 3 lengths clear. Playing God is running on. Southern Speed is making ground, but the pride of Australia is the greatest show on earth. Black Caviar won it by 3 lengths to Southern Speed. Black Caviar within a length of the leader, which is now Midas Touch, who claimed Dan Zalem. Into the straight now, Black Caviar. The awesome racehorse races to the front. She's kicked away now. She's home. She's 3 lengths clear. Playing God is running on. Southern Speed is making ground, but the pride of Australia is the greatest show on earth. Black Caviar won it by 3 lengths to Southern Speed, Playing God. And then either Elo, Doubtful Jack or Midas Touch across the track.
Win number 18, as easy as you like. $1.85 not to be used with the whip. That one home as well. Times horrendous, 125, 1-4. Who cares? They came to see an event. They came to see a champion. They crawled for the race and she's just chugged over the line as easy as you like.
We feel privileged to having called this great mare in a race.
yeah, look, this is, and they've seen one of the greatest mares the world's ever seen. That's number 18.
You don't see that, mate, Shark, do you? You don't see those scenes. At Caulfield Cup Day, you don't see it. People have become fans of racing, which is different to being a paying punter. I know you didn't pay yesterday, but
Absolutely. Yeah. The thing I love about it is that the crowd's united behind one horse. And
it was a nice little touch there yesterday when you were heading towards the 400-metre start there at Caulfield, and the bloke had just run himself out, I think, so he could sit up there. They are there on the top of the nets there. Quite amazing, but you had time in your little preparation there to give them a thumbs up and say good on your fellas.
Home, she's 3 lengths clear. Playing God is running on. Southern Speed is making ground, but the pride of Australia is the greatest show on earth. Black Caviar won it by 3 lengths to Southern Speed, Playing God, and then either Elo, Doubtful Jack or Midas Touch across the track.
Oh, Greg's got all the lines, hasn't he? Luke said he's going to go and buy a dictionary or a thesaurus to try and come up with some new words for superlative. It's another question.
She's got a great heartland capacity, a massive stride. I think, obviously her awesome talent. I think those 3 things go together. You see what you see there, and it's like Usain Bolt. He looks like he's doing half pace when he's breaking 10 seconds. So she might well be the equine version of Usain Bolt.
was there ever a time early days, perhaps in a track?
Saying she's our champion. I don't think I've seen one better. And what about London? They've got their main course of the Olympics this year, but what an entree they're going to have with Black Caviar arriving.
Yes, she's phenomenal. She's the best sprinting thoroughbred in the world. There's little or no doubt about that.
Expressway Stakes, and we see Rain Affair going for 9 from 10 horses in the yard. But I can tell you on course that Rain Affair is $1.60 to $1.50. Actually, Brent, would you...
Right inside it is Shootout from Strike the Stars, and Snipers Bullet at the tail of the field. As they come into the straight now, 450 out, Rain Affair in front by 3. Winter King doing the chasing, Centennial Park third, Rangy Rangdu was fourth. And then Dan Lee and Shootout from Sacred Choice coming into the straight. He nurses Rain Affair, looking for 8 straight. He's about 3 in front of Winter King. Then Centennial Park, Rangy Rangdu, Shootouts are weaving between horses, but Rain Affair, he now draws the whip. He's still got a commanding lead. He's about 4 or 5 in front. He went further ahead when he gave him a crack with a whip. Now eases up late and he wins it easily. Centennial Park got second. Shootout, I'd say, third in front of Winter King. Then Strike the Stars, Dan Lee, Sacred Choice, Sniper's Bullet, and Rangy Rangdu finished last of all.
Oh, some very good runs heading into the autumn in that race, but none better than the winner, Rain Affair. He is an amazing sprinter here. Joe Pryor has done such a good job with him. Corey Brown.
Yeah. What's happened to Not a Snip of Doubt? Nothing compared to what Rain Affair's doing, Rich. He looks the real deal.
Hey, look, he's a pretty...
9 from 10, and he's Apollo Stakes bound.
He is an outstanding racehorse. You say, Black Caviar, how she conserves energy, and that's her greatest asset. This horse is the exact opposite. He's got a lot of ability, Group 1 ability, but he's just all energy. He just doesn't know when to stop. There's more upside to him than what you think.
He's the most exciting up-and-coming sprinter in the land at the moment. I've no doubt about that. That was amazing because he over-raced a little early.
He's not all his life.
He's not an orthodox horse.
No.
He's not like...
So good. They were the two nice...
They're off and racing all too hard, jumped away fairly well. Little Red Corvette got a good getaway, and Forget seemed to jump well at the tap and bound way behind it in the yellow cap. Hollywood Starlet's on his outside. Forget is just in behind the speed, followed by Bass straight on the rail. Come on, Sugar's under pressure down on the inside. Strive to Excel's also under pressure. Rapper's Delight's gone past it, and so too Timely Truce. Here they come towards the 300 metres now, and All Too Hard's given his head where Little Red Corvette had moved up to Liberty Rock. At the tap, boxing on. All Too Hard starting to respond, and Rapper's Delight. All Too Hard and Liberty Rock down on the inside have come clear. 100 to go. All Too Hard is finishing his race very strongly. Draws away, and All Too Hard scored by a length and a half to Liberty Rock. Timely Truce gets up for third just in front of At the Tap, and also on the outside, Rapper's Delight. Little last time.
All too easy. Great start for the day for the family of Black Caviar. Here's All Too Hard, the half-brother winning on debut. Soft in the end and wins the Talindert. Will it run next week? That's the next question.
It's a bit more cocky and a bit more confident, but, you're just trying to put a lid on these sorts of horses, and everyone's booming them without us adding extra cog to it.
We've seen plenty of 0.025 million for the horse and outbid Neil Werrett and the Black Caviar team there. But he stands Casino Prince, so well done to him. 3.10, they bet $4, betting, there you go, more Lightning Stakes, and she's the hot favourite, although the tote's saying $1.50 at this stage. The bookies are saying $1.10, and they've got plenty here today. $1.10 on Tats at this stage. We'll get Sam's thoughts on how he parades in the yard. Hey, is the champ, Black Caviar. Do I need to say anything here, Shane?
No. What do we need to say? That she's very, very, very good, and she's 9 out to 11 on course, so gets to those double thin. Black Caviar $1.10 hasn't budged.
They're off and racing. Black Caviar brilliantly out of the barrier stalls, and Lone Rock jumped well, and so did Haylist, and the 3-year-old Fox Wedge was away quickly. Buffering being ridden along to try and take a position near the speed as well as they settle down. And it's Black Caviar who has a slender lead with Haylist on her outside. Haylist now going to the lead ahead of Black Caviar, and Buffering in the blue colours on the far side, the leading trio. And they were clear then from Fox Wedge, Temple of Boom, Feeling Ready, Lone Rock, Secret Flyer and Metallurgical to the 400. And Haylist closest to the stands, the leader with Black Caviar. Buffering's under the whip and 3 lengths to Fox Wedge. Down in the final 300, and Haylist clinging on narrowly, but now here comes the great mare, and Black Caviar raced up, and she's gone past Haylist. Schofield had to pull the whip. She's having a bit of a race, but Black Caviar Caviar is a length and a half in front, and the Wonder from Down Under wins again. Black Caviar 19 straight from Haylist. Photo to the 400, and Haylist closest to the stands, the leader with Black Caviar. Buffering's under the whip and 3 lengths to Fox Wedge. Down in the final 300, and Haylist clinging on narrowly, but now here comes the great mare, and Black Caviar raced up and she's gone past Haylist. Schofield had to pull the whip. She's having a bit of a race, but Black Caviar is a length and a half in front, and the Wonder from Down Under wins again. Black Caviar 19 straight from Haylist. Photo third, Fox Wedge and Buffering. Lone Rock, Temple of Boom. Feeling ready, Metallurgical and Secret Ready, Metallurgical and Secret Flyer.
Well, all honours to Haylist, who made it a great fight, but again had to surrender to the champion. Black Caviar surrender to the champion. Black Caviar comes out to make it 19 straight. She was there for the fight, and she makes it look soft in the end. A superstar, an Australian legend she is now. No horse has been undefeated in 19. She equals the Australian record of 19 consecutive wins. Where will 20 be? Well, let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry. Special again. She never disappoints.
Speaking of something special, she's only 0.03 outside of Special's course record. She has been given the race of her life today by Haylist. He really threw down the gauntlet.
Yeah, exactly. You know, anytime she's been up for a fight, and he's the only horse that's ever made her fight, and, you know, all due respect, he's a great horse, isn't he? But he's just unfortunate in an era that he's run into an equine freak, I suppose.
Let me head off that man. She's bloody wonderful, and she really toughed it out, you know, and yeah, she touched me, you know. She really, the chips were down, and she showed a lot of courage, you know.
Metallurgical to the 400, and Haylist closest to the stands, the leader with Black Caviar. Buffering's under the whip and 3 lengths to Fox Wedge. Down in the final 300, and Haylist clinging on narrowly, but now here comes the great mare, and Black Caviar raced up and she's gone past Haylist. Schofield had to pull the whip. She's having a bit of a race, but Black Caviar is a length and a half in front, and the Wonder from Down Under wins again. Black Caviar 19 straight from Haylist. Third, Fox Wedge and Buffering. Lone Rock, Temple of Boom. Feeling ready, Metallurgical.
We'll go with that, Greg. The Wonder from Down Under, because that's what she is. No horse ever in Australasian racing history has won 19 unbeaten. Of course, Gloaming and Desert Gold in their careers were able to put 19 together, but this is new territory. The time there says 50. Let's get to some splits itself. Now, this should be a record, 55-53. Special may run 55-58. We'll never know.
Absolutely.
No tenths.
Vince Accardi from Daily Sectionals. If you were out there this morning watching this show, please get Special's tape and run it through your system and let us know what time she actually ran. We want to know if this is a record.
Fancy horses run this. 31.78, 21.80, and 11.40 when Luke's put the handbrake on there again. 41.99 for 800 metres.
Yeah, it's truly incredible. And
just her own sectional splits here when we're still another one for Vince. Any horse has broken 10 seconds between a furlong. 600 to 400 metres, she's run 9.98. So Mark Kavanagh came up with definitely ready running that downhill at Sandown, but sadly I said to him the next furlong was about 11 seconds, so 11 and a half. It didn't really help really much, but that's just something to talk about. The margin was the shortest since she was injured winning the Danehill. Back at Flemington.
Caviar. If he was any other era, we'd all be raving about Haylist. Don't ever forget him. I can't believe the price the exotics play. And one thing you mentioned, Bruce, about the time yesterday, it's got to be a record for the simple fact there was no watering policy back when Special. We used to have hard tracks. Now we have soft tracks to help the horses get over their runsies.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. And we, as I say, we don't know. It was a different track altogether. It was a rebuilt Flemington. So it's
a whole new set of challenges, and left any doubters she might have had aghast. And anyone that clocked the gallop shaking their heads. She reeled off extraordinary sectionals without breaking the record yesterday at Flemington. Ronnie, amazing performance.
It was an amazing performance. She went in for a fight, she got a fight, and she come out on top again and again.
Run one sectional, officially clocked at under 10 seconds. 9.98. I've never seen it before. I mean, sectionals have only been around for the last decade or so, but 9.98, I haven't seen it before.
Should they keep record of Special?
In defence of the time, I don't think there's been any track record broken at Flemington since they've laid down the new track. I think they're all old course records. Maybe knowing it was 1,000 metres yesterday was just unbelievable.
There was 50 metres between the 300 and the 200 when you thought, the upset could happen here, because Haylist really laid it down to her and she had to come off the bit for the first time in quite a while, and she was at her absolute top to work away from him. And we haven't seen that from in many starts now, her being at her absolute top. And I think it was a credit to Haylist that he was able to stretch her out like that. The sectional that she ran early in the race, they tended to get slower as they got closer to the line, both horses. I mean, in that sectional, Haylist ran 10.04. So he was only a breath outside breaking 10 as well himself. So it was a stellar effort from him.
Well, her sec barriers
from the standing start.
From a standing start, then a 10.21, a 9.98, which is unheard of, a 10.4, and obviously 11.4 coming home after all that work mid stages there. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Exactly. Here's a first Group 1 in this afternoon sporting bet Oakley Plate, but he's got a big fish to fry here in Sepoy, and they totally dominate what's going on here in the betting aspect of it, and probably what we're going to talk about as well. Runners are slowly coming to the yard behind us. Here's what the market says at this stage. On the totes, Bell Sprinters 290, Sepoy is 350. It's pretty similar to what is happening. Good luck to you. I'll train him in Dubai. That he is banged up, ready to go.
Racing. Sepoy probably about a half a length slow. Wirram went back in the field in the early part. Bell Sprinters right out the back, settling towards the end. Here's Sepoy being driven hard to find the lead with Winter King, and they go together leading side. With him is Eagle Falls, 2 lengths Johanna Pine, Diplomatic Force, and they're followed then by Sterling Grove, Elite Falls, Yosei and Wirram. Up towards the turn of the Oakley Plate, Sepoy outside, Winter King share the lead from African Pulse. First Command, fourth on the rail from Facile Tigra. Satin Shoes is in between horses as they cornered, and then came Katana, Johanna Pine, and down the outside Elite Falls. Sepoy led narrowly at the 200 from Winter King. On the outsiders, Facile Tigra starting to come home, and then Katana at Elite Falls. Sepoy the leader, 100 to go. First Command, Facile Tigra close, and Elite Falls. Elite Falls swaps them, and Wirram came late. Elite Falls and Wirram hit it together from Facile Tigra, and came Katana, Johanna Pine, and down the outside Elite Falls. Sepoy led narrowly at the 200 from Winter King. On the outsiders, Facile Tigra starting to come home, and then Katana at Elite Falls. Sepoy the leader, 100 to go. First Command, Facile Tigra close, and Elite Falls. Elite Falls swaps them, and Wirram came late. Elite Falls and Wirram hit it together from Facile Tigra, and First Command close up on the inside. Sepoy wilted late to just miss out, followed closely then by Master of Design, were followed by Sterling Grove, and then back behind those to finish in the race, Eagle Falls, Never a Chance Today, African Pulse weakens out with Katana, Diplomatic Force, and well back as
Swarham's Oakley Plate number 4 go on the frame here. It's 4, 16 and 7 the numbers. What a race. How did it change in the last 50 metres from Sepoy looking a chance to Elite Falls swooping, and then from Wirram from last with an amazing turn of speed here to win an Oakley Plate. A huge result here for Rob Heathcote, for Damien Brown in 1 3-point.
Yeah, he'll go to the Newmarket now, and it's, look, I'm as proud as punch. I've got Wirram and Little Buffering run his heart out last week behind the great mare. So, Melissa Leach, she does a fantastic.
First to last, under 5 lengths, under 0.9 of a second. Race changed enormously.
5 lengths across the field, as you said. Wirram to come from where he was in that run, we knew they were going to go fast. It's an Oakley Plate, but that was just an unbelievable final 400 metres. And Elite Falls as well to come up underneath him. But he looked through the field, Master of Design. No luck at all. Yosei was great. Eagle Falls, no luck.
The last at Eagle Falls.
Well, at the end of his races, when it's a dry track, Rob, he can just rattle off any sectional time.
Yeah, exactly, Ron. And, I've openly said in the past, he's got the best finish of any horse I have, and probably the best finish of any horse I'll ever have. And you're right, when things go his way, and I guess that's the benefit or the main reason we brought Damien Brown down to ride this horse. I mean, Damien knows this horse.
Low flying, isn't it?
It is.
We say with Haylist, I still reckon they're going to run. I can't get a feel on one way or the other.
Coming up now for the running of the Blue Diamond. It's 39.2 degrees and about 10 degrees more in where we are in this little sauna. But let's have a look at the totes here. And Samaready is your hot favourite. Should have said that. Makes me hotter. $2.40 on the tote.
They're racing. Samaready jumped okay. So did Members Joy. Mama's Choice away quickly. No looking back. And Jamando. Caviar so began okay. And Rosambo was showing some speed as well. Bush Aviator drives through and settles down with a narrow lead in company of Travelling Man. No looking back has drifted back a fair way now. And they're being followed then by Andre Ruhu and Rosambo Cambiaso, and well back in the field along the inside is General Ripper when they cornered, and Real Stolly and Mama's Choice towards the end. On the swing at the 400 metres, Samaready about 4 wide has gone up in company now with Arm for Action, then Jamando as they cornered in, back behind them Bush Aviator, and then came No Looking Back, Samaready the leader with 200 metres to go, led by a length and a half. Arm for Action down the outside, No Looking Back is starting to come home well. Samaready with a good lead though, 100 to go, 2 lengths in front of No Looking Back. The filly is clear. Samaready is too good and won the Blue Diamond by 2 lengths to No Looking Back. Third place into Arm for Action ahead of Jamando and Rosambo. Then Mama's Choice, the Travelling Man, Real Stolly, Bush Aviator, followed by Formidable and Members Joy, and next to finish was General Ripper.
Fittingly wins the best two-year-old race in Victoria and does so with some aplomb and some decisiveness here for Craig Newitt. Fitting for Croggy, a good margin, a dominant victory. No hard luck stories I wouldn't have thought behind Shark here.
It's an outstanding win. She ran through the line there, no looking back. Didn't have a great deal of luck, but she loomed up and Samaready just put paid her in about one stride. So I think the others have got to go to another level to beat Samaready now.
Well, Pierro probably might be the one in 7 days' time. I think we get to see Pierro.
She's a star filly. Can't wait to see her in Sydney. Let's hope we do see the best of her, because she'll take a power of beating in our Golden Slipper.
We've seen in the past. There's the market for the slipper.
Here is the market for the Peter Young, the former St George. Now, odds-on favourite in the tote is the Caulfield Cup winner here, Southern Speed. Bookies are giving
Southern Speed's been covering a bit of ground, followed by Murray and King Diamond, Manighar, and then came Efficient and Precedence and Lucas Cranach last. 600 to go, Glass Harmonium by a length to Zavit, and Delo the inside, Cannonball under pressure from Ranger. Southern Speed is still making ground, although she's under a fair bit of riding, and Manighar's coming with a run. Lucas Cranach trying to get to the outside. Glass Harmonium shot 2 lengths in front from Elo. Round the outside, Manighar. Southern Speed looked to be battling only. Glass Harmonium tackled by Elo and Manighar, and now Lucas Cranach. Manighar at the 200, race to the lead. Lucas Cranach is building home. Lucas Cranach raced up to Manighar and Elo, but it's Lucas Cranach getting the upper hand now, drawing away, and Lucas Cranach by a length and a half to either Manighar or Elo for the Miners, and Glass Harmonium ran fourth. Southern Speed ground home fifth, and then Ranger Priest.
Yeah, don't even have to clear it. But the horse isn't even really primed for this. He's going to the Australian Cup and he's going up your way for the BMW. So this is a bonus, you know.
That's what I think. With their 7th race win, you know, it's
team of imports here.
Oh, the winner was outstanding. He's clearly the one you'd be surprised unless something happens in the next few weeks that he's not the horse to beat in the Australian Cup. He was outstanding.
But, your assessment of that, Shark?
Yeah, look, at $3.60, I must admit I didn't take any of the longer odds.
The field for the Telecom New Zealand Derby head towards the 600 metres, and it's Shuka the leader from Colorado Sun coming round 3 wide. Jeroboam Travolta's on the improve as well, so too is Silent Achiever. She's starting to come into it as well. Carrick is off and around the many chances as they swing in. It's Shuka the leader at the 400 metres, tackled by Colorado Sun. Angel Bohm, Jeroboam coming after them. Here's Silent Achiever, and look at Carrick right down the outside, now getting out Zarella. Carrick ranged up, Silent Achiever. She's got a fight on her hand. Rock and Pop is running on there. Chikorita, the fillies in front. Silent Achiever, a length clear from Rock and Pop and Carrick, and then Chikorita. She's too good. She's a beauty. And at the line, she won the Derby. At the line will be Silent Achiever, photos Rock and Pop, Carrick, and then Chikorita. The best 3-year-old in the land of the long white cloud, number 15, Silent Achiever. She's won the Derby, and the first time for many years, and in the hands of James McDonald and the Derby King, Roger James. Congratulations to owner and breeder Kevin Hickman, to Silent Achiever.
Mighty win, and this is what we expected from an absolute champion filly in Silent Achiever. And Roger James, well, we don't see you like this after races. You're very emotional about this.
Means a lot. I can't believe what it means. I was so nervous because I thought I had the best horse in the race, and the track really worried me, and I thought we were going to be robbed because of the track conditions. I think you might have seen a special horse here today.
What about your emotion after that one? It means a lot to you.
Oh, it's amazing, man. I can't describe what I'm going through right now. Jeff, best filly, amazing, just amazing attitude. You see her out the back, and I probably rode it to not instructions, but I had to do something along the way, and I'm lucky it paid off for my sake.
Silent Achiever come over to Oz like Jimmy Shoo. Well, she's won the last 4 now, all at group level. In fact, she's won the New Zealand Derby, which was, I think, a $750,000 New Zealand race. Here it is. Here she is in the yellow colours, just going to the lead. And they really string out over the last 100 metres, and she's very, very strong at the end. Ronnie, she's a very talented filly.
I like the look of her. I'd love to see her over here. Any chance of that?
Don't know. You'll have to ask Andrew.
Roger James was very emotional after the win, wasn't he, Andrew?
Yeah, look, it was great stuff here from Roger James. He's got a team in New Zealand that he doesn't, bring straight away, but he's wiping tears away here, tears of joy. It was great to watch yesterday on Sky Racing. Rogers told me this morning that he rates Silent Achiever right up with the likes of Zonda that we've seen across in Australia.
The short prize favourite for the feature race, the Group 2 Apollo Stakes. There he is on screen, Rain Affair. He has been not a happy horse here. $1.45 he is in the ring, in from $1.50, but he's been rearing, he's been kicking, he's been totally unsettled. He's settled down a little bit now. All right, let's have a look at these Run and Row. The first horse to do that, all on Sydney tracks in consecutive races since Peter Pan, going a long way back. He's currently still...
Rain Affair broke fast on the outside. He's got his head in front in the first 100 metres from Gathering and Trusting as being ridden along, and then starts me up in a forward spot. Sniper's Bullet going along the fence, followed by Sacred Choice, and then Gathering. 2 lengths behind them, Centennial Park, and then came Tullamore, Herculean Prince and Danley. Raggy Ring do a long way out of his ground, and Hawk Island last. Rain Affair held together as they make the home turn. Sniper's Bullet and Starts Me Up are under pressure. Then further back behind them, Shootout pushing out into the clear. Trusting down the outside, but Rain Affair went into another gear at the 300. He raced away 3 lengths in front of Sniper's Bullet. Then Shootout followed by Centennial Park. Danley working home down the outside, running on late. He goes for the whip on Rain Affair. He's holding the lead comfortably, and Rain Affair makes it 9 straight to go down to beat the stablemates. That got second, Danley third, followed by Herculean Prince. And then Tullamore and Centennial Park from Sniper's Bullet and Trusting.
Rain Affair takes out the Apollo Stakes. The Group 2, no concerns whatsoever over 1,400 metres. Again, he's broken their hearts. He's beaten home Trusting, Shootout rather, and also number 4, Danley. We've got the photo there, but we'll bring those at the times and margins. 2 1/4 lengths by a head, 1:22.34 the time.
Fair completing 9 straight victories in the Group 2 Apollo Stakes. The first horse to win that many in a row since Peter Pan in the Harbour City.
A marvellous achievement. He's just got lost in the moment with the Black Caviar thing, understandably so, but very hard to do. He's won 10 from 11, his last 9 straight.
The only Group 1 race in the country today is right here under the cloudy skies, rainy skies for the Australian Guineas. And the helmet is getting right out in the betting here with these conditions facing him at $4, even though he's a heavy track winner. Here's the totes. Mosheen is around the 60.
They're off. And Instinction got a good jump down on the inside. Helmet didn't jump well. He's back in the field about 3rd or 4th last as they settle into stride. Adamantium began well. It's the one to Circles. Mosheen over on the rails. How did he do that? Back in front of about 4 horses, followed then by Sangster. Well back is Bombalatomba as they neared the turn. At the 800 metres, Strike the Stars second last, and Helmet last of all. Up towards the turn in the Guineas they race, and First Course had a slender lead. On the outside as they swing around the turn is Adamantium, and coming on Proliferate on the white blinkers. Hugel off the track with Fondalina. Instinction just behind them, and Sabridge trying to find a way through, and Mosheen is threading into the race too, trying to get off the heels of the leading horses. They stretch right across the track, and that's the one, was one of the widest, and Helmet is the deepest runner. Proliferate and highly recommended. Mosheen got the split, and she's burst to the lead now, and the fillies dash to the front. Mosheen, here comes Strike the Stars coming down the outside. 100 to go. Mosheen by 2 lengths. Strike the Stars ran to second on the outside, but Mosheen is going powerfully, and the Grand Filly Mosheen scored in the Guineas by 2.5. Strike the Stars. Mr. Milton 2 lengths away third. Then that's the one, highly recommended, Sabridge, followed further back by Proliferate, Bombalatomba, Fondalina, Instinction, Adamantium, Hugel, and then came Helmet. Never a chance after missing the start. Is last. It's got to be one of the great rides in a Group 1 at Fleming.
Absolutely outstanding filly. She won the Oaks in a hand canter. Now she's beaten the boys in the Australian Guineas. Not many have done that. And she hasn't only beaten them, she has absolutely blitzed them.
We were sort of knocked over at the barriers, but we all stand here and wrap the rides when they ride winners, but
Even Greg Miles said, "How did he get in there?" I got to see the replay. I don't know how he got in that spot.
Why is it so special to you?
She's a class filly. I've always thought Atlantic Jewel was better than her in the spring, and I think she tests her now. She's seasoned. She's.
The leaves the horse went up. He certainly intends to send Helmet leaves next Friday with Sepoy to run in Dubai. There's absolutely no change in that. They've just got to hope he's got the right manners there for the Derby over 1,900 metres.
There might be a big farewell party at the airport to make sure Helmet leaves our shores.
Look, I know Peter's he's a good horse, but he's a really hard horse to train too, and a real big problem at times. A lot of pressure.
He's got issues, like some people. Pointing finger or anything, but I'm not staying. Of course not.
Okay, so live Rosehill Gardens, the first of the feature races. The Group 2s is the Silver Slipper. And, of course, we've got a beautiful bunch of two-year-olds here for Patinack Farm going around. Pierro, Richie, the favourite, but most of them dropped.
Racing. Pierro missed the start, came out last of all. Best out on the outside was Collect, who took up the running and led from Asusa. Then a sack after being trapped wide. Pierro went through underneath it, followed further back by A Bridge Too Far, and Kyria last of all. So the first starter, Collect, led. Asusa's railed up to almost join it now, 650 out, and then Assassinate working hard out wide. Maydung in the middle, followed over on the inside by Brave Soul. Then Pierro, followed by Kyria, and the Diem's Quest is back second last, and last A Bridge Too Far. Into the straight, Collect on the outside of Asusa. They lead from Assassinate. Maydung pushing out into the clear. Then Pierro. Brave Soul along the fence to Diem's Quest right down the outside. It's Collect and Asusa fighting it out. A length and a half on Pierro, who's starting to run out after them. Asusa on the inside, grabbed by Pierro. Pierro in the centre of the track. He was a big drifter on course, but he's taken the lead and he'll win the Silver Slipper. Pierro goes on to beat Asusa. Kyria got third. Then Collect, followed by Maydung, followed by Brave Soul and also A Bridge Too Far. Then the Diem's Quest, and last in was Assassinate.
We'd heard that all along from the Gay Waterhouse stable. Number 1, Pierro for National Willer. Gay Waterhouse takes out the Patinack Farm Silver Slipper Stakes for 2012. Heading on towards the Golden Slipper. He's beaten home a very...
Come around, put out to $4.60 here on track. That'll be your maximum if you don't mind.
And he was sold through the weaning sale, the Magic Man weaning sale for 115,000.
October. I know you've had a lot of two-year-old winners. We've only ever said it about one, and it was when this horse won the Breeders' Plate. You said he'll win the Golden Slipper.
Look, he's a very, very good horse, and then you've seen, not just being diplomatic, you've seen some pretty exciting horses come out of the yard, and he'll certainly have his time cut out on Slipper Day, and he doesn't want to miss that start too much, otherwise he might have to do a belle de jour.
The best thing they said back in October last year when Pierro made his debut.
You just saw the Golden Slipper winner. This is the most outstanding. I'm telling you, you don't realise. This horse was such a babe, literally, after the Canterbury trials. And I put the blinkers on him, and I just did a few little things with him, and it just switched him on unbelievably. The improvement since his trial would be 6 lengths. Now, if he can improve that much in 10 days or 12 days, what can he do in the next 6 months? I'll turn him out now. You just look out for him in the autumn.
The stable said this was their best two-year-old, and as you say, Richard, it came into the yard and... well, its guts were nearly dragging on the ground. It went from 280 to 440 in a twinkling and still bolted in. So there's only upside. He's a very, very good horse.
Pierro Raceway, no looking back. Goes see Schnitzerland.
Well, next Saturday, it's the Randwick Guineas, and Craig Williams has picked up the ride on this very promising New Zealand 3-year-old called Ocean Park. It had a barrier trial at Cambridge on Thursday. It won there by a couple of lengths. Here it is going back to late January, winning here strongly. The horse will fly in tomorrow night, Monday night into Sydney. Craig Williams will ride in the Randwick and the Rosehill Guineas. Gavin Hennessy said the horse has got the form around Silent Achiever, the filly who won the New Zealand Derby. Looking forward to that next week.
Cool, 2 sides plus produce stakes only 12 minutes away. The favourite is All Too Hard. Terrific lineup of 2-year-olds here. Talk about 2-year-olds. It's about 1999 the way I'm looking at it here. Sorry,
Mama's choice between horses.
2 to 3 lengths clear from Timely Truce, followed by All Too Hard, giving the speed about 7 or 8 lengths, being followed by Bradman Rapper's Delight, and at the end of the field is Kenja Wood. Up towards the bend they race now. Tatra at the 600 metres away from the rail had the lead. Sham Express is on the fence and Road Trippin is third. About a length away is No Smoking out wider, and then came Mama's Choice between horses as they cornered Proto down on the rail, followed by Sambo. Down the outside is All Too Hard, starting to run on fairly well, and Jamando coming between horses. 300 to go. Sham Express getting up on the inside to tackle Tatra. Proto's on the scene with Road Trippin, and now All Too Hard. All Too Hard on the outside starts to swap them and spread it straight past them. Boy, he's good. It's racing away now. All Too Hard by 3 to 4 lengths to Road Trippin and Proto, and All Too Hard won it all too easily by 3.5. Proto kicks, might grab the second, I'd say, just in front of Road Trippin. Tatra stayed on the star.
Well, I might be Black Caviar's half brother, but I'm All Too Hard and I'm bloody good. Watch that race from about the 600. Only one horse was travelling on the bit under double wraps, and he didn't let it go. It was just too easy for All Too Hard. That's great. Great to see a horse mark his name as himself, not who he's related to here.
And that has off the bit, and he looked like he was going half pace. He's a superstar, this horse.
Unbelievable.
And now All Too Hard on the outside starts to swap them and spread it straight past them. Boy, he's good. It's racing away now. All Too Hard by 3 to 4 lengths to Road Trippin and Proto, and All Too Hard won it all too easily by 3.5. Proto kicks, might grab the second, I'd say, just in front of Road.
Let's just worry about who he is, not who he's related to, but it'll all be relative. All Too Hard. They did go hard the first 1,000 here.
They might have unearthed an absolute superstar in the 2-year-old race too, in the Silence Produce. That horse, All Too Hard. He put in a performance that said to me he can win the Slipper, and he could probably win the Caulfield Guineas, and he just did phenomenal things yesterday. So I was really excited about him.
He's destined for greatness.
I was enormously impressed with this horse. It's just a phenomenal effort. I want to go back to if they want to run him in it.
Yeah, look, there's a nice filly that might have something to say about that, but I say run him in the Slipper too. I think he's a superstar. Look, he reminds me of a young Octagonal. I can just feel those three Hawks boys just giving it to me now for saying that, because he's nowhere. He's a big act to follow, Octagonal, but look, he reminds me of him. Maybe has
more acceleration than
a
horse like
look, if there's a
That's out of a Group 1 race here, the Lexus Newmarket Handicap, a big field to get through in the mounting out. There's the totes. And Haylist is your tote favourite from Rain Affair, pretty much the same in the ring. Foxwedge.
There was one hiccup in his 1,200 metre form when he pulled up a bit scratchy. Otherwise, he's unbeaten. If you take out the 2 times he ran into the unbeatable. So I don't think he's got too much rate with 58.5. Maybe a couple right down the bottom have got away from him, but he deserves his crack at this, I think, like...
Settling fully now, and it's Buffering who had the lead down on the inside in company with Rain Affair. Rain Affair now leading in Waratah's Secret. Turak Toff beat it in behind that bunch of horses, followed by Albert the Fat, and further back was King's Rose of that inside division up the middle of the course. And Haylist and Foxwedge show the way with African Pulse, and just behind them Metallurgical, followed by Lone Rock plotting up the middle of the track, and they're followed then by further back as Rock Classic. Eagle Falls the widest runner with 400 metres to go now. Haylist and Foxwedge the leaders. Buffering down on the inside is right there. Beat it starting to come home. Rain Affair was battling. It's Buffering in front with about 150 to go. Haylist and Foxwedge are coming at him. Buffering with Haylist coming hard. Buffering narrowly. Haylist trying his heart out. He's driving at the line on the outside, and he's made it really close. Haylist and Buffering hit it together. Photos for third. Worham's come home. With 400 metres to go now. Haylist and Foxwedge the leaders. Buffering down on the inside is right there. Beat it starting to come home. Rain Affair was battling. It's Buffering in front with about 150 to go. Haylist and Foxwedge are coming at him. Buffering with Haylist coming hard. Buffering narrowly. Haylist trying his heart out. He's driving at the line on the outside, and he's made it really close. Haylist and Buffering hit it together. Photos for third. Worham's come home. Feeling ready. Up there too, Foxwedge, and also Live and Let Die. King's Rose not far away down near the inside. First horses was Albert the Fat, beaded, followed then by Mr. Shard Vasil Tigra, Temple of Boom, and Ward Vasil Tigra, Temple of Boom, and gets the photo.
Outstanding. He deserved it. What a fantastic horse he is. And Haylist, a thoroughly deserved victory. It actually ran to script, didn't it? Buffering, they were second and third in the lightning behind the great Black Caviar, and today they come out 1-2, and finally Haylist has a moment in the sun, and a big one it is too, giving weight under this handicap scale of everything. He had to dig as deep as he possibly could, giving buffering of 4 kilos and absolutely brilliant. And Fox handicap
1, 8, 22 and 21 are feeling ready. He runs yet another fabulous race. He runs fourth. For the fitting round of applause here, a big round of applause from the big crowd assembled to watch him come back. They appreciate that this bloke has been trying his heart out against Black Caviar.
I think the horse deserved his day in the sun, and as it's turned out, the handicap has actually probably done us a favour, because now he's created history. He's done something that no horse has done for more than half a century. And
that's a metric record for Hayless, 58.5. He's got one on Black Caviar, carried 58 the year before, getting back to Gold State.
Of the field. I think there was something like 9 individual Group 1 winners in the race, 3 dual Group 1 winners. That's probably as good a new market as I've ever seen in my lifetime. So
It's just phenomenal. It just underlined what a star he really is. And
unreal. He's just an absolute superstar. To carry that weight and do what he did was just one of the greatest performances you'll ever see.
Prior to yesterday, his rating was 124. On yesterday, that performance will see it at 126 or 127. So that was career best. Was the reaction from the handicappers yesterday, Joe?
Okay.
The Australian Cup, sponsored by Dubai. Dubai, of course, a big association now with the Victoria Racing Club. And what a great place it is to go, I must say, Dubai. Dubai Australian Cup, American from France.
So Elo, the leader, he's heading towards the halfway, 1,000 metres to go. He's been wanting to do it fast all of the way. Glass Harmonium 2 lengths away, and 2 lengths to Playing God. Manighar, a further length and a half. Southern Speed, who's had a lovely run, and 2.5 lengths to Precedence. American and Efficient last on the inside. 700 left to go in search of the turn in the Australian Cup, and Elo by 2 lengths to Glass Harmonium. Manighar, Playing God under pressure the inside, and then Southern Speed as they swing around the turn. Back behind them, Precedence, American, peeling wide and Efficient. They're into the straight now, and Elo with a narrow lead. Southern Speed is the first to throw out the challenge. Glass Harmonium boxing on. Manighar coming through. Right down the outside was American. It's Southern Speed who's run to the lead at the 300 ahead of American, and a gap in the field. Coming down the outside, Precedence with American. With 200 to go, Manighar kicking back. Southern Speed and Manighar. American a length and a half away. Manighar and Southern Speed and Manighar. American closing on them. 3-way go. They hit the line. Manighar or Southern Speed and a bobbing on. Manighar coming through. Right down the outside was American. It's Southern Speed who's run to the lead at the 300 ahead of American, and a gap in the field. Coming down the outside, Precedence with American. With 200 to go, Manighar kicking back. Southern Speed and Manighar. American a length and a half away. Manighar and Southern Speed and Manighar. American closing on them. 3-way go. They hit the line. Manighar or Southern Speed in a bobbing photo finish. There's nothing in that with American third. Precedence ran fourth. A break then to Efficient, followed in by Playing God, Glass Harmonium.
Now look at Williams with his head down, trying to get everything out of Southern Speed in the 2000. Okay, Shane.
And it sure is. Thanks, mate. Right, now let's get back to the punting. It'll be better off when he goes to Sydney for the BMW.
I'll ask Chris a question surely about these stay as European stars. Look how far that Southern Speed got in front there. And comes back Manighar. Let's hear from Peter Moody. He was pretty chuffed there yesterday. He wasn't a player, of course, in the new market with his
disappointing run last time. Head down, head up, head down, head up. That's all the difference was. I got no doubts he should have won American. Just found the wrong back. The last horse you want to...
Feature of the day, the Turn Point Randwick Guineas. The Group 1 for the 3-year-olds over the famous Randwick Mile. The runners are in the yard. Manawanui is the favourite here on course around 3:20. But Richie, the filly down the bottom already money on course.
Yeah, well, just firmed in the $3.80. Favourites, particularly, but there's
3-year-olds over the mile. We are about a minute and a half from start time. The big Group 1. Enjoy the call, Mark.
They're all in and they're off. And Ocean Park missed the start, so did End. And the leader is Wild and Proud, led from Manawanui and Dr. Doom. Laserhawk up on the outside is running fourth, and then came in behind them next. We've got Moment of Change on the outside of Sedcom. Mosheen going up in the middle near midfield as they settle down. Ambidexter on the outside. Back on the rail there was Ocean Park, and then Strike the Stars. Further back behind them next on the outside, King Soul. Going up in the middle, Galar. A long way back in Duna and Darcy Be Good at the tail of the field. Running around the turn, about 500 to run. And Wild and Proud in front. Manawanui strode up on the outside. And now he puts his head in front as they turn Manawanui. Berry went for home, beat off Wild and Proud. Then down the outside, Laserhawk, followed by Sedcom, Moment of Change. And then Mosheen starting to work home. Manawanui in front. Sedcom starting to reel him in. And as they run to the 150, Manawanui just in front, being joined by Sedcom. Laserhawk on the outside. Mosheen's going to come with a late rush. Sedcom fights back. Mosheen dives on the outside and wins it. Mosheen came from nowhere and got up to beat Sedcom. And then Mosheen starting to work home. Manawanui in front. Sedcom starting to reel him in. And as they run to the 150, Manawanui just in front, being joined by Sedcom. Laserhawk on the outside. Mosheen's going to come with a late rush. Sedcom fights back. Mosheen dives on the outside and wins it. Mosheen came from nowhere and got up to beat Sedcom. Third home Laserhawk and then Ambidexter, followed by Manawanui. Then Darcy Be Good, Strike the Stars. Park and then Galari.
A lot of interest from the Northern Hemisphere now, and there's a great mare.
Well, now the three Group 1s as a 3-year-old. And it's not over yet, as Bruce just said. Well, I mean, you know, she may be here to pinch another one just yet. You know,
CV already. She's got to run second in a Golden Slipper, second start in the race. Win an Oaks, come back and win an Australian Guineas and a Randwick Guineas. You look back in 10 years' time and say she must have been okay because
the William Reid Stakes. It's a weight for age race over 1,200 metres. It's won by the great sprinters in Australian racing. It's been won by a big, muscular 100-metre sprinter. He's like Ben Johnson.
The side and buffering just over a length in front. Haylist is second. And 2 lengths away is Fox Wedge with Beat It next to the outside. And then Lone Rock and Midsummer Music and 2 Rekindled Interest. A length and a half away is Wirram. To the turn and buffering is travelling okay as well as Haylist on his outside. This is set up for a big finish and they've kicked 3 lengths in front of Lone Rock getting up on the inside of Fox Wedge. Buffering narrowly, Haylist got him at the home turn. Haylist went on by, Fox Wedge comes off his tail. Haylist in front, Fox Wedge coming down the outside. Haylist a half front, Fox Wedge grabbed him. The 3-year-old Fox Wedge beat Haylist by a half a length. Buffering third, Lone Rock 4. Breaking the field defeated in company with Rekindled Interest. And then came Midsummer Music and Wirram tracked them last all of the way. He's had his day.
Well, hats off to John O'Shea and the team. They will be ecstatic. The 3-year-old Fox Wedge upsets the hot pot Haylist. He just kept coming.
I don't know what the setback would have done to Haylist, but he was there to win the race. Fox Wedge was too good for him. Maybe Haylist will improve off that run, but on the night, Fox Wedge was too good. You'd have to say, but all honours with the winner there. Fox Wedge, his future is secure now as a stallion with a pedigree like that. A specimen like that, and good luck to his connections, the Bateman family. They spent.
There's already been plenty of money during the week. $7 in, $4.40.
So Faustus about to move
towards the 600. And Amarino led by a half on Red Excitement. 2 to Pierro. Third Epilep on the outside of Shelford. They race together about 4 off the lead. Faustus at the back of the field with trophies. The 2 Rock Colts and Geldings come for home in the first of the day. And Amarino beat off Red Excitement led by 2.5. Pierro is now switched into the clear. Nash calling on him to come after the leader. Epilep joining in as well. And then Shelford, but Pierro for the 200 now. Tackle Amarino. Epilep's going with Pierro. So Pierro on the inside and Epilep. They settle down to fight it out. Epilep on the outside has got his head in front. Pierro rallies on the inside. Fights back. Comes again. And in a bobbing finish, I think Pierro won it. Photo very tight, but it might be Pierro from Epilep. Shelford got third. Then Amarino.
Wait on the judgment, Richie. Yeah, it is definitely Pierro. Number 2, Nashua Willa Pierro takes out the top.
Well back, he started $2.05 on track. National Willer, I thought.
Back to Rosehill Gardens, really looking forward to the Jacobs Creek Riesling Stakes here. We see the Blue Diamond winner in Samaready, the undefeated filly. She is going around here at pretty short odds, Richie. Well, it was $1.55. She's just got out now to $1.60.
Yeah, thanks.
From the Broken Shore. And they're in advance of Stitzerland, followed by Diamond Player. And here's Samaready starting to take off. She's whipped around Hasusa. So she's third last coming to the turn, making a move, and May Dung last. Into the straight, Chow led from the Broken Shore. Samaready and Stitzerland coming down the outside, but Stitzerland has moved out after Chow. Stitzerland is going with Samaready. They come to the 200. It's Samaready on the outside and Stitzerland fighting it out. Hasusa's made up some ground in the middle. Samaready on the outside starts to assert her superiority. She races away the last little bit, and she goes on to win it. Samaready beat Hasusa. Maydung, I think, got third from Stitzerland, and then Chow, Diamond Player, at last in the Broken Shore.
Well, she's pretty smart, isn't she? Craig knew exactly where he wanted her to be. She was just there stalking.
3 lengths out to 3 lengths, and then yesterday, the last bit of a race, she put a margin on them again. She's the benchmark for mine. John?
A half length closer, but she was awesome. She's the one to beat. She's the benchmark, clearly.
So I've listened to Mick, don't you? Ride something.
We'll ride something,
$2.60 now at Sporting Bet. They put up $3 for a short time.
More impressive of the two slipper trials there. I thought Pierro was brave and very good. And Epaulet, not much between those two. But she has got a bit of a margin on the fillies, and I think she'll win the slipper.
These Argyle Lakes. We see the return of More Joyous for the autumn. Of course, she won this race last year. She's won 5 Group 1. She's won 8 other group races. And Richie, fair to say...
No, she's out to $2.80. I think she's got a great chance.
And then Eagle Falls, Metal Bender a long way back, so too Happy Zero. And Fortella whips them in. Some Penny Pin led as they turn for home, led by 2.5. Love Clockers all's flat to the boards at the moment, trying to wind up. Triple Elegance with it, and then Sincero. More Joyous coming down the outside, and Monton's running up with it as they come to the 200. Love Clockers all being joined by More Joyous and Monton out wide on the track, and then Sincero coming through in the middle. It's More Joyous, Love Clockers all, Monton, Sincero, but More Joyous is going to win it back to More Joyous beat either Monton or Metal Bender, who flashed along the inside. Then Love Clockers all and Sincero. All flat to the boards at the moment, trying to wind up. Triple Elegance with it, and then Sincero. More Joyous coming down the outside, and Monton's running up with it as they come to the 200. Love Clockers all being joined by More Joyous and Monton out wide on the track, and then Sincero coming through in the middle. It's More Joyous, Love Clockers all, Monton, Sincero, but More Joyous is going to win it back to back. More Joyous beat either Monton or Metal.
Right, and overall 23. She's had 16 wins now. And just have a look, this crowd here, if you heard about her, More Joyous, that was a tough, gritty win yesterday.
Oh, she's a champion, man. The only thing, she just doesn't handle heavy wet tracks. And the track was wet yesterday, and she got the job done. Beautiful ride by Nash. She was competitive in the Doncaster, even though she's got 57.5. That's a big weight for not a big mare. Other good runs, there's plenty of them. I'll just from the top down. Metal Bender, fair dinkum. How good was he along
That's
the inside?
him on the inside there, isn't it?
He'd only had one run. That was his first up for over a year, and he'd only had one run in 18 months or so. He obviously had an injury and a bleeding attack. So if he gets back in business, he's one of the best horses in Australia, best weight for age horses.
Gardens, and we are up to the Group 1s. The Randvet Stakes is the first of them, and Shootout, the Chipping Norton Stakes winner. He is the favourite, a former Derby winner here. Of course, as a 3-year-old in Sydney, he's around 320 on the tote.
Same on the tote. Trusting's been rock solid around the $10 mark. They've just taken the 350 in the ring shootouts into 330 now. Manighar 5 out to 650. 800 out, and the leader is Zarveet. He's in front by a length on the favourite Shootout. Rangi Rangdu moving up to third, but he's had a tough run. Southern Speed saving ground near the inside, in the middle Elo. Then Manighar, followed by Trusting. Scarlet Lady out wide, followed by Wall Street and Scenic Shot. Then at the head of the others, Niwot, Hawk Island, and Tullamore last of all. Getting to the business end now, 400 to go. Zarveet in front, Shootout and Rangi Rangdu straight up on the outside, and Manighar starts to loom up as well. well. Rangi Rangdu put his head in front, but Manighar's on the scene quickly on the outside. They're sprinted away from Shootout, and the others are headed by Niwad. It's Manighar and Rangi Rangdu. Rangi Rangdu on the inside, and Manighar. They're drifting right off the track here. Manighar on the outside, and Rangi Rangdu. There's absolutely nothing in it. Manighar might have his head in front. Rangi Rangdu kick back. I think Manighar might have just won. Manighar from Rangi Rangdu and Shootout. Then Southern Speed, followed by Wall Street, then Elo, and then Niwat, Trusting, Scarlet Lady, followed by Hawk Island, Zavik, Tullamore, and last in was Scenic Shot.
Let's look as if it's 2 Group 1s in a row for number 4, Manighar for Pete Moody, Luke Nolan. It looks as if he's maybe held off Rangi Rangdu on the inside. They were drifting right out. Let's see this as they get to the line. It did look as if he just got that stride in there. We'll just wait. It does that stride in there. We'll just wait. It does look as if on the outside. 4 from number 1 at Rangi Rangdu. He is the winner, Manighar, number 4.
With the winner there of the Rabbit Stakes after taking the Australian Cup.
Brady $1.30.
Well, 4 starts for Moody, 3 wins, 2 Group 1s. First Victorian horse to win this race since Sound Action, and first Australian Cup winner to win it since Viander Cross. And we're heading into the BMW.
I wouldn't take $9 Shootout.
Not going.
No, well, I think he's going the Doncaster. I think Hugh Bowman just.
I think. Look, I'll have to admit, Niwat's better than I thought he was. I thought he was overrated just off one performance in the spring, but he has been stringing a few together this autumn, so we'll see where he ends up.
Bit of a backflip, wasn't it?
Well, you got to, seeing is believing.
Have a look at the unbeaten half-brother to the unbeaten Black Caviar, All Too Hard. Not only does he have that fantastic pedigree, he is also a cracking.
To $1.30 about 3 times, and now it's back out as best price.
All Too Hard, second last. He's 6 or 7 off the lead. Dunn's about to peel him to the outside. Hard Markers 2 away last. Into the straight, and LeCap led from Collect and Pure Hustle, followed in behind them by Limes. Narcissus and All Too Hard are starting to rush down the outside. Coming to the 300, it's LeCap and Collect flying it out. All Too Hard in the centre of the track has collared them now very quickly. He's rushed to the front, and under hands and heels riding, he's starting to drive clear with about 100 metres to go. Dunn's put the brakes on here and he'll canter in. All Too Hard wins it. Narcissus got second, Limes third. Then Hard Marker, Pure Hustle, Fob Dubai, followed by LeCap, and Collectors finished last of all.
3-7 the numbers, and we're going to be hearing this quite a lot. All Too Easy for All Too Hard, Dwayne Dunn, and
Second rated again today, but he's a real deal, and obviously we think he's a 3-year-old, and that's when he'll be a superstar. But to do this,
What your thoughts are, but the bookies think the same, but it was an amazing display. His win in the size was outstanding as well. I think I'd be running him.
Look, it just the filly, Samaready, $2.80, All Too Hard, $3.10, and Pierro, $7.50.
He's a star, isn't he? He's a push. When you push the button on him, doesn't he accelerate and put a field away? Only good horses do that. And win a Caulfield Guineas. He could, be competitive in a Cox Plate. Who knows?
Challenge stakes for the sprinters here, and we get to see Rain of Fair. He's won 10 out of 12. Of course, it was a bit of a tough ask in the Newmarket last time.
10 to 9 on now to $1.90.
So there's 4 to come up. Last of all, Rain Affair sped through and took the lead, but Winter King made him work, and he's got Rain Affair a little bit fired up. And Rain Affair led by a length or so on Winter King. 3 or 4 Satin Shoes. Elite falls back on the fence next, followed by Neeson Bell Sprinter and Cardinal Virtue last. Coming for home, Rain Affair led. Jockey steered about 2 or 3 away from the inside and broke away from Winter King, led by 2.5. Satin Shoes next, followed by Elite Falls. Then Neeson and Bell Sprinter, and further back was Cardinal Virtue. He's gone for the stick at the 250 on Rain Affair. Satin Shoes about a length and a half away, and then Neeson, Elite Falls and Bell Sprinter. Rain Affair in front, he's flat to the boards. Satin Shoes and Neeson coming after him, but Rain Affair is hanging on, and Rain Affair won it from either Satin Shoes or Neeson and Bell Sprinter. Then Elite Falls, followed by Cardinal Virtue, and Winter King, the one that made the favourite work early, has finished tailed off.
For the run today, I've got a race in 2 weeks' time, the TJ that I've got him primed for, and I think we'll see him at his best on that day, but nice to get away with today.
Off camera, you're
Winter King and the rest of the field, and it still looked like he was trying to cuddle him, but he really did have to pull out all stops in the straight.
Neeson and Bell Sprinter.
Well, his maxi div was $1.85, Rain of Fair.
I tell you what, I love watching this horse, Ronnie. He's just fun to watch.
That's an outstanding win. That is an absolute outstanding win. He was attacked left, right, and centre, and he was the last man standing. He was there to be beat, and he pulled plenty out. He's I can't give him enough credit. just look at it. 1,400, back to 1,200, back to 1,100. It's not easy to do.
He one forward, didn't he?
Yeah, look, he's
an
iron horse, that horse.
Lane Rosehill Guineas coming up next of all, the Group 1 for the 3-year-olds, and we have a crack field of 3-year-olds lining up here. The filly, though, Silent Achiever from New Zealand, she's the favourite at around the $4. I was about to say 4.20.
So big support for this filly who won the New Zealand Derby and had bolted in the Waikato and Avondale Guineas before that. By Proliferate in the centre. Over on the rail is Galar, then Ocean Park about to hook out and take off from the back of the field. Hoyloni's trying to track it forward. Silent Achiever still well back but starting to edge forward. And Setcom last of all. 600 out in the Guineas. Dr. Doom the leader from Merlin Mustang. Darcy Begood is third. Rock and Pop rushed up on the outside. Laserhawk back on the fence. Strike the Stars about to commence its run. Ocean Park up on the outside and Silent Achiever has worked up to be about midfield coming to the outside. Into the straight, the leader is Dr. Doom. It's in front of Rock and Pop and Ocean Park coming down the outside. And Silent Achiever and Laserhawk got the inside run. Laserhawk broke through. Ocean Park and Silent Achiever are coming after it down the outside. And in the middle, Ambidexter. It's Laserhawk in front from Ocean Park and Silent Achiever as they draw to the line. Laserhawk for Gay has won it from Ocean Park and Silent Achiever. Then Ambidexter followed by Setcom. Further back behind them next we had Hoyloni, followed by Rock and Pop, and then in behind them next Strike the Star.
Okay, Waterhouse, Nashrawilla and Gory, Laserhawk, the half-brother to Desert War. They've held off the Kiwis. Ocean Park in second placing, number 16 and 18, Silent Achiever, tracking him up into third placing, but all honours with Laserhawk, this really raw young horse. He's only there are the English interims for you, 5.90. Gay Waterhouse is now with Jason Richardson.
Okay, what a day you are having. Start number 5, he wins a Group 1. He's a little star.
He's outstanding. That's what he is. This is a really, really star-studded field here today.
Yeah, great win by Laser Hawk, of course, the son of Artie Schiller for Nash and Gay. $6.60 the maxi div.
For 3 here, Barrackey, and Barrackey has won 6 from 6. Just what a record it is.
Barrack hardly missed. Well, Brown can't hold him slower. At the 400, and he's absolutely smoking coming around the turn. Barrackey. It's Barrackey railing like a greyhound, led by 4 Beach Express, a further 5 Meagham's Boy. They went past the 200. He's about to shake him up. He has a look over the shoulder. No need to shake him up. JJ Brown at the moment, you wouldn't think. Beach Express is flat out behind him chasing. He just gives him one on the tail to keep him going, and he'll ease him down on the line. Barrackey wins it just over a length, but was very soft late. Beach Express second, 2 lengths Meagham's Boy. A long way back then to the Hennon's handicap winner Black George, and can hardly miss last of all.
7 from 7 now, Barrackey, $1.10 and $1.
Afternoon on Amy Golden Slipper Day. It is the Vinery Stud Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies, and we get to see Richie Mosheen again. She's, of course, the horse has beaten the boys in a couple of Guineas races, an Oaks winner and place getter in last year.
Both Group 1 winners. Mosheen very short on the tote, forced to work throughout the race. At the halfway mark, and Mosheen striding along well clear. She's the best part of 3 lengths in front as she goes to Rio. Another 2 lengths away in third spot is Streama. For Mosheen trying to lead all the way. In the Vinery, she leads out here by 2 on She Goes to Rio. Streama is third, giving the leader about 3. And Nicolette now clicked Mosheen up, and she strode even further ahead. Coming to the 600, she raced away. She's 3 or 4 lengths in front. She Goes to Rio second, Streama third. And then came Aliana Till Plum Nye and Pedronate back last of all, but into the straight Mosheen, who's looking for 3 Group 1s in a row. She's about 6 lengths in front as She Goes to Rio. Streamer back in third spot, then Aliana Till, but Mosheen's well clear as they draw to the 200. She's in a different postcode to the rest. She's about 3 lengths on Streamer, who's trying to close in late, but Mosheen is well clear. She's starting to put in a few short ones, but she's got a big enough break. Oh, he sits up late. Streamer's diving, but Mosheen just got there. Wins it by about a long neck on Streamer, who challenged late. Aliana Till third. Then came Nye, followed in behind them by Plum Pedronate, and last in She Goes to Rio.
Well, Mosheen, exciting tactics there by Danny Nikolic. She's taken out the Vinery Start Stakes, but look at the run by Streamer. Challenging, just coming.
The line, they were looking to do it Luke Holland on Black Caviar the way he struggles down. Yeah, Streamer got close, never going to win, but Mosheen, a confident ride by Nikolic, and she'd beaten the boys in the Australian Guineas, the Ramakin, now the girls.
I know what you're saying, Bruce, but those who laid the 7 and 4 on all 2s on at the death I think they thought the other one was getting a bit too close.
It still won.
Well, I'd say apart from the last 50 metres, it was an absolutely brilliant ride because he took the initiative early. They ran about 2.5 seconds slower than the Tulloch Stakes over the same distance. He got away with murder in front and won the race from the outset where he took the initiative.
Talking about big Group 1s here today on Amy Golden Slipper Day is coming up. The BMW, and what a crack field we have here. Small but select field. American, well, he is just an eye catcher. A big crowd round the mount.
Oh, the big players have come late, according to Jerry Walsh and Sporting Bet Caroline. 272.50, 1-800.
Manighar 288 to 4, $4.20. Behind them, Precedence running forth. Drunken Sailor over on the inside. He's still wide on American. He can't get in. He's 3 wide on a limb. Follow slowing them right down on the leader. It's Fumicino in front. Manighar goes up a little bit closer, about a half a length away. Southern Speeds had a beautiful run, third on the rail. Then Precedence followed by American, who's covered a stack of ground. Over on the inside there as they run down the side of the track, Drunken Sailor. Scarlet Lady hard ridden in the middle, followed by Hawk Island, Niwot last. They start to sprint at the 600. Fumicino in front. Manighar only ahead away. Precedence hard ridden behind them. And then Southern Speed, American given a tap with a whip. Followed by Drunken Sailor. Then Hawk Island, Niwot as they turn, and Manighar strode up and hit the lead. It raced away from Fumicino. Then came Precedence, who's coming out after Manighar. American trying to get between runners, but Manighar's off and gone at the 200. He's about 3 lengths in front. Drunken Sailor ran to second. Then American, who's plugging on. Followed further back by Southern Speed, but Manighar hasn't moved. He turned him around. Manighar races away, and Manighar beat American. Drunken Sailor third. Then Niwot followed in behind them by Southern Speed. Then Precedence, Hawk Island, Fumicino, and Scarlet Lady was tailed off.
Well, he's won the treble. It hasn't been done before. Manighar, the Australian Cup, the Ranvet and the BMW. He is dominating the Autumn Carnival. Manighar, Luke Nolan and Peter Moody.
I would say that David Hayes will be more than happy with the run anyway.
Yeah, I'd say so. Manighar by Lenamix.
It's turning round, all right. Manighar joins the list of Mackay Deep Rock Tackle to join the BMW on a roll here off the Australian Cup. First off, to take the Ranvet amongst that treble.
And Shane Dye, he'll be sitting there watching the show this morning. You're off the hook, Shane. No one's going to remember Viander Cross anymore. It's Jared Moose. I had him last night at dinner after. I had a chocolate mousse last night, and it tasted better than his ride yesterday.
More on that. Well, Stewart's had Mosse in with David Hayes as to explain why he set 3 wide on American yesterday. Basically, Ray Murray said it was the ride didn't deserve a pass mark. Richie said it's the worst you've seen in 20 years.
I said it's the worst ride I've seen in a big race. You live and learn. Manighar's a very good horse, there's no doubt. Let's not take away from him, but the second horse, American, should have won.
Mark, anything to add?
And just I forget the run really. Ran a very good second. I think the winner was outstanding, and our fellow with a bit of cover might have made it a bit closer.
A very civil analysis of Gerald Mosse's ride on American from David Hayes there. Punters are far less forgiving, as are we. It was one of the worst rides you'll see from a world-class jockey.
Well, you could have put an apprentice on and got that ride. But here, I'm not too far away. Right here, he gets up outside Scarlet Lady. All he had to do, Ronnie, was ease back half a length, and he was dropped in behind Scarlet Lady.
That's where the damage was done. He should have done that, but his eyes were for Manighar, but they shouldn't have been because, horses don't travel 3 deep here. Manighar wasn't going to stay 3 deep and give him cover for the whole, 2,400 metres.
No, but that's where I think Europeans get a little confused with our racing. They'll see a horse 3 deep in front of them, and they think, well, he'll probably just sit there, which in Australian racing, they never do. And you end up...
It is the English Queen of the Turf, of course, more English sponsors, of course, of the Queen of the Turf this year. There she is, more Joyous on screen. Beautiful mare. She really is for Gay Waterhouse, Nashua, John Singleton. And the
go. Only the other day, that didn't last. Got into $1.85 this morning. Crash, bang. They put up 165. I said, well, that'll get to 175, and then they might have a bet. No, 165. Sporting Bet phones went wild, bang, 150, $1.50.
Wonderful mare, 23 starts, 16 wins.
Red Tracer now took over, and he slows them up as they go into the first corner. Moving up on the outside, King's Rose 3 wide, more Joyous the centre. A length to Jose, followed by Hurdle Myrtle. Miss Keepsake was next, followed by Sky Rush, and then Cabernet, of course I can, and Lights of Heaven back last of all. Red Tracer just the leader as they approach the 600 from King's Rose. Jose next, More Joyous is fourth, followed by Miss Keepsake and Hurdle Myrtle. It's about to edge up a little bit wide. Cabernet looking for a run in the centre, and then further back Sky Rush, of course I can, and Lights of Heaven sticking to the fence. Red Tracer is the leader as they turn for home. In advance of King's Rose, and then More Joyous starting to come down the outside with a strong run. He turns her loose now, More Joyous. She rushes up and hits the lead. Took over from King's Rose and then Red Tracer. Miss Keepsake and Hurdle Myrtle are running races, but More Joyous strides away at the 100. She's too good for them, and More Joyous comes down to win it. Miss Keepsake second, King's home. In advance of King's Rose, and then More Joyous starting to come down the outside with a strong run. He turns her loose now, More Joyous. She rushes up and hits the lead. Took over from King's Rose and then Red Tracer. Miss Keepsake and Hurdle Myrtle are running races, but More Joyous strides away at the 100. She's too good for them, and More Joyous comes down to win it. Miss Keepsake second, King's Rose third. Then Hurdle Myrtle, followed by Cabernet, Lights of Heaven, Red Tracer, Jose, and last in was Sky Rush.
She's the best mare we have in Australasia. No, the best mare we have in New South Wales. And certainly come back with a vengeance, hasn't she?
Yeah, and even the way she looks very close to you, of course, the Doncaster, and she could possibly be the best chance you've ever had of winning it again.
She is. She's the weights are compressed, and she's thrown into the race.
Sounds like thrilled to be here to watch this great mare win another Group 1. There are the English interim.
Well, you can't say no. You know, she's we call her a champion.
I think she's the champion mare.
So do I. So do I.
She's
to do
not
what she's
the
done with that.
champion mare at the
No,
moment,
no, I know
but
that.
she's Sydney's champion
You
mare.
know, each to their own. I'm calling her. I call her a champion. And we can call her a Sydney champion if you like. But just her profile of being, you know, the little ugly buckling as we call her, and she just performs and acceleration, burn, and if she can win a Doncaster with 57.5, giving all these, you know, horses so much weight, she'd have to be a champion to do it. But I wouldn't underestimate her the way she's.
And we are just ahead of the Amy Golden Slipper. There it is, the magnificent.
Into 12, down to the favourite Samaready. Got out to $3.20, back into $2.90. No, you can't believe a horse could win those three races, being the Breeders' Plate, the Silver Slip, and the Top, and not be favoured. He's a big horse.
Ready, she's out of a half sister to County Tyrone that won the Sydney Cup. Mick Price has done a great job with her.
They're off and racing, and Drafontaine made a mess of the start, came out clear last. Beginning well was Faustus with Snitzerland, Pierro booting up along the fence, and Asher Can going forward as well. Then no looking back, followed by Drafontaine trying to pick up after missing the start, and well back was Shelford as they run into the first bend as they come up towards the 650 metre mark, followed well back by Jade Marauder, and Narcissus is last. It's Snitzerland on the inside just in front, led narrowly from Faustus outside of it. Asher Can made a line of 3. Pierro box seat behind them looking for a run, then no looking back, and Raceway about to hook to the outside, then later Gator and doubtfully, and Samaready coming down the outside. She's still got about 4 or 5 to make up, but Snitzerland straight away. Pierro's chasing it down along the inside, and then Raceway followed by Asher Can. Samaready's making ground late. It's Pierro coming after Snitzerland. Pierro drove through, took the lead in the slipper. Gate holders months ago, and Pierro won it from Snitzerland and Samaready. Then doubtfully and Drafontaine, a great run, followed by Amarino. Then Raceway, Cavalry Rose, Faustus, followed in behind them by Asher Can. Then Epaulet, no looking back. Jade Marauder.
To go Waterhouse when Pierro won the Breeders' Plate back in October. She said this horse will win the Golden Slipper, and Pierro has saluted for Nashua. Will it go?
She said from day one would win this race, and you were right again.
Get the hat right now. Yes, he's a dominant colt. And, you know, I was amazed he wasn't favoured for the slipper. But it was a fantastic finish, wasn't it? I mean, the
$1,000 then went through the Magic Millions yearling sale from Musk Creek Farm to Gave.
No, I wasn't doubt about that. The best horse won, no doubt.
Like to take on All Too Hard in the size and the Champagne, wouldn't be worried about that.
Oh no, look, bring it on, I say. I was hoping he went round yesterday, but you know, at the end of the day, my bloke's done it now. He's won the richest 2-year-old race in Australia, and
his margins are bad.
It's all too hard to be favoured. Only because, like, you can't believe this. As Gay said, and we've said it all week, that they won the Breeders' Plate, won the Silver Slip of the Todman. It still didn't start favourite yesterday, and it won't start favourite against All Too Hard because of the hype. But I tell you what, it'll be one hell of a...
Nash say there that he hasn't got anything to prove. Well, if he backs up next week, he's got something to prove that he's the best, you know, he's the superior colt because he's going to meet All Too Hard. and that could make the Randwick Carnival, just that clash alone.
Rider Stakes is the final Group 1 on the program here this afternoon. It's tougher at the weights for him, but he's still around about $4 at this stage.
He was off the map when he won last start, and he's off it again.
He looks to be out a little bit wide. Love Conquers all third, and then Monton followed by Rangy Rangdu, who sits on the back of Niagara 3 wide. Then the Secret Admirer and Hugel, followed by He's Remarkable. Further back was Albert the Fat, rekindled interest in the centre, and then further back Sincero, Metal Bender. Well back was Danley, Centennial Park, Rock Classic, Happy Zero, and Wirram last. Coming for home, and the leader King Mufasa just led from Monton going up on the rail. Niagara given a cup with the whip on the outside. Love Conquers all probes for a run in the centre, and Rangy Rangdu's about to join in on the outside. King Mufasa led at the 300. Rangy Rangdu sprints up on the outside, and these two go toe to toe. King Mufasa and Rangy Rangdu. Sincero and Secret Admirer starting to run on late with kindled interest. Metal Bender along the rail. King Mufasa, Metal Bender grabbed them and won it, I think. Rekindled interest jumped out of the ground late. It's either Metal Bender. Rangdu sprints up on the outside, and these two go toe to toe. King Mufasa and Rangy Rangdu. Sincero and Secret Admirer starting to run on late with kindled interest. Metal Bender along the rail. King Mufasa, Metal Bender grabbed them and won it, I think. Rekindled interest jumped out of the ground late. It's either Niagara given a cup with the whip on the outside. Love Conquers all probes for a run in the centre, and Rangy Rangdu's about to join in on the outside. King Mufasa led at the 300. Rangy Rangdu sprints up on the outside, and these two go toe to toe. King Mufasa and Rangy Rangdu. Sincero and Secret Admirer starting to run on late with kindled interest. Metal Bender along the rail. King Mufasa, Metal Bender grabbed them and won it, I think. Rekindled interest jumped out of the ground late. It's either Metal Bender or Rekindled interest who put a big lunge on the line. Photo for the others. We've got King Mufasa with Secret Admirer. And Rangy Rangdu, then Monton.
He's the winner for Chris Waller. He's beaten home. Look at rekindled interest, the run on the outside. Lady that has this horse sometimes out pretty much in the front garden of her house when he's spelling. He's a real favourite of anyone that has interest. Jumped out of the ground.
Didn't know where to look. Mark got a bang on. Well done to Mark Sheen there yesterday, but we'll show you what happens.
A long absence from racing. He bled and he bowed a tendon. It's been a long road back to the Group 1 winner's circle.
What a race that was. What a race that was. But Metal Bender, he lived right up to his big first up run. We know he's one of our best weight for age horses, but he's come back from a bleeding attack, tendon injuries, and to come back and run the two races that he's done, being a Group 1 winner after, and he's second up after, well over a year off. It's a marvellous achievement from horse and trainer. There's no doubt about it.
This is the English Sires Produce Stakes, and Richie, quite amazing, isn't it? The Golden Slipper winner last week, Pierro, well, he's around $3.10. The short price favourite, all too hard, Black Caviar's little half.
As it was at English during the week. Number 1, Pierro, $2.60. Who would have thought this? Out to $3.20, and he's just trickled back in.
All set, away they go. And Limes on the outside jumped in front. Now all too hard, the favourite didn't come out of the machine all that well. In fact, he tails away 2 or 3 last, settling down. As they run down the side, and the leading trio well clear here. Raceway led at the 800. Tatra sitting at its quarters in second spot. Asher Can on the outside, 3 wide. They're about 4 or 5 on Pierro, a half to Faustus on the rail. All too hard is second last, so he's right on the back of Pierro. And back last of all is Limes as they approach the home turn. 500 to go, and Raceway is the leader. Tatra outside of it second, Asher Can third. Then Pierro and Faustus all too hard about to come to the outside. He's still about 6 away, and Raceway sprinted away up the rise. He's 2.5 in front. In advance of Tatra now. Pierro's coming fast down the outside, and all too hard is running on as well in Limes. But Pierro, this little bulldog, raced up and hit the lead. The unbeaten Colt's in front. He's out in advance of all too hard, and Pierro does it again. Pierro beat all too hard. Back in third spot, Limes from Raceway, Faustus, and then Asher Can. At last in was Tatra.
Oh, well done. The Golden Slipper winner. He's now taken the second leg of the 2-year-old Triple Crown. Number 1, Pierro for Nashua Willa.
Nothing too hard about that, was it?
A nice dig, a race record and gave it. What an exciting 2-year-old. It just gets better.
Yeah, I thought he was exceptional today. When I sort of got to him,
the race pressure, that's when he lifts.
If he's not brilliant, I don't know what is. He's a bloody serious horse, this bloke, I tell you. He's chills running up my spine riding him. He's a very good horse.
320, that's the horse that won the Silver Slipper, the Todman, the Golden Slipper, and couldn't even run favourite against all too hard. And
Absolute bulldog. And I thought it was a match race just before the corner. I thought it was going to actually happen. You see here, there's All Too Hard. He's getting onto the back of Pierro there. And I thought, okay, he's come to the outside. Now it's on. But here, just on the top of the rise, Nash says, let's go. And watch this. That's where the margin goes from about a length to about 2.5. And All Too Hard just couldn't accelerate with him. And once Gay's horses get into that, or particularly this horse gets into that mechanical stride, there's no way that you can reel him back in. All Too Hard, he tried hard, but he just couldn't accelerate when it was required running.
Suggested it was going to go the other way as well, but we're all proven wrong, which happens, and he is the superior colt. He's a $20 million colt.
Buzz here. It's not a Group 1, but the Sapphire Stakes this year. We see the first time the appearance of Atlantic Jewel in Sydney. She was the top filly down there in Melbourne. She's unbeaten 5 from 5. Of course, didn't go around in the Oaks.
45 into 135. Wow.
To the others and take it. Jill just past midfield. He's trying to boot up to get in, but he's out 3 wide, followed by Lady's Angel. Rose of Peace and Parables ridden quietly at the tail of the field. Phenomenal Lass led 650 out a length. Graceful Anna a length to Born to Rock. And then came back in behind them. Celts running 4th, followed by Midsummer Music. Atlantic Jill just starting to stride a little bit closer on the outside. 3 wide, More Strawberries the rail. And then Lady's Angel, followed by Parables, Rose of Peace last. Into the straight, Phenomenal Lass led from Graceful Anna, and then Celts on the outside from Born to Rock. Atlantic Jewel cruising up in the centre of the track. Here she comes with a run now. Rod starts to let her down, and she raced up and took the lead and raced away from Celts, Midsummer Music, and then Parables. But here she comes, Atlantic Jewel, one of the best in the country, and she's come back from injury and absolutely bolted in. Beat to Midsummer Music, Lady's Angel, and then Parables, followed by the straight Phenomenal Lass led from Graceful Anna, and then Celts on the outside from Born to Rock. Atlantic Jewel cruising up in the centre of the track. Here she comes with a run now. Rod starts to let her down, and she raced up and took the lead and raced away from Celts, Midsummer Music, and then Parables. But here she comes, Atlantic Jewel, one of the best in the country, and she's come back from injury and absolutely bolted in. Beat to Midsummer Music, Lady's Angel, and then Parables, followed by Celts, Rose of Peace, and then further back More Strawberries, Graceful Anna, Phenomenal Lass, Phenomenal Lass.
Yeah, well, she's just a special horse.
Because she keeps
Look at her today. I mean, that was just remarkable what she did there. I mean, she sat 4 deep, and Michael was just arrogant, and she just strode away. It was fabulous.
It's 6 out of 6. Don't say she beat nothing. Midsummer Music runs second. Great ease, don't you? Look how it's Black Caviar like the way she does it.
Contempt is just unbelievable. And just run away, as you said, without break. And other than that, he never moved on her. She just did it all herself, and all he had to do was sit there and just let her do her own thing. Look at this. That's unbelievable. Just come out the rise here under such a hole, and for a jockey not to have to, he's give her a slap there, but really he sits up again once he got her own for about 100 metres, and then he just let her amble. And look, she's just really special filly. Fantastic horses yesterday. A possible champion in Atlantic Jewel in one of the minor races. Boy, oh boy. What an athlete she is.
She's the Patnack Farm Australian Oaks, won by some champion fillies in the past. Probably not the greatest quality Oaks we've seen in some years, but I tell you what, Streama, Richie, she's been a...
Number 1 Streama, 155 into $1.45. Big go. Single one.
600 out. He's trying to quicken up on the leader. It's Thy in front. Aliana Tilt trying to creep up on the outside to get closer. These leaders have sprinted. Streamer giving them a bit of a start as they turn. Full of Spirit is third. Streamer starts to stride through in the middle, but she gives the leaders about 4 or 5 into the straight. It's Thy and Aliana Tilt. They're fighting it out. 3 on Full of Spirit. Now Bowman turns the burners on Streamer. Can she pick up the ground? It's Aliana Tilt and Thy. They're in front of Streamer, who's starting to mow them down. It's Aliana Tild and Thy. Streamer gradually getting on terms on the outside. Favourite levels up, hits the lead, and Streamer gets home and beat Aliana Tild and Thy. Followed by Full of Spirit, and then Colorist Lightens, Rock Robster, and Sue last.
Well, the quality filly here in Sydney, number 1 Streamer. She's taken out the Patnack Farm Australian Oaks for 2012 for Huey Bowman and Guy Walter. Tried him out of Pensiamo. Now, the mare's had 8 to race, 7 winning foals, and out of a Sovereign Red mare. What a great broodmare side. Full of Spirit.
It's 3 for Guy Walter, 2 for Huey Bowman, 1 on Daffodil, of course, Wild Iris and Republic Lads for Guy.
I don't know if she didn't stay. She outstayed them as a tough 2400 for Streama.
That it wasn't the strongest ATC Oaks we've seen, but look, something's got to win it, and I think the right horse won it.
Look,
Race of the day. This is $2 million BMW Doncaster Mile. The favourite, a real crowd favourite, More Joyous for Gay Waterhouse. But Richie, I noticed another day Joy and Oaks winner herself for Gay Waterhouse, Nash Ruler and John Singh.
And for number 2, More Joyous. They have, according to Jerry Walsh, they have come right around the country here. Great rendition of our Doncaster. Been 440 into 380 in this race.
They're set, they're off. He's Remarkable and Sincero both missed it. Best Out Niagara and Rangy Rangdu. Fast Clip driving up along the inside to third. More Joyous was away well. She's just on the back of the speed with All Legal and then Shootout Centennial around the first bend. And the leader Niagara. Rangy Rangdu came across to settle down second. Fast Clip third. More Joyous fourth. A half away on the inside All Legal. And then Hurdle Myrtle. Shootouts in between horses followed by Centennial Park. And then Wall Street Albert the Fat. Yosei going up on the rail. Followed by Sincero, absolutely, and then Dan Lee. He's Remarkable. Monton, Secret Admirer, spots him a big start. She's third last. Happy Trails and Happy Zero are together at the rear. As they approach the home turn, Rangy Rangdu went up to Eyeball Niagara. They're in front of Fast Clip, about to come to the outside. Then All Legal. More Joyous is tracking the leaders. Nash Peels are into the clear. Jose went right along the fence, pinched the lead, and it's Jose taking over along the inside. Fast Clip and More Joyous and Rangy Rangdu, All Legal. And then came Shootout, but More Joyous sprinted up in the middle. She grabbed Fast Clip and Jose. Shootout's running on. It's More Joyous in the middle of the track. She's in front, and this mighty mare, More Joyous, goes on to win it from Shootout. Jose's in a photo for third with Happy Trails and Sincero. And it's Jose taking over along the inside. Fast Clip and More Joyous and Rangy Rangdu, All Legal. And then came Shootout, but More Joyous sprinted up in the middle. She grabbed Fast Clip and Jose. Shootout's running on. It's More Joyous in the middle of the track. She's in front, and this mighty mare, More Joyous, goes on to win it from Shootout. Jose's in a photo for third with Happy Trails and Sincero. Then in behind them, Fast Clip, followed by Absolutely, and then Secret Admirer. Then Albert the Fat, followed further back by Rangy Rangdu. Secret Admirer.
It's the most satisfying thing I've seen for years. There's the New South Wales champion there, and she just greeted the judge with such, I don't know, such determination. She's
Dave Meyer as well, who's been looking after this mare, looked after her mum's.
One for More Joyous, the seventh for Gay in the race, same as TJ. Fifth group, one of the Carnival. They're all stats. Probably her best performance.
Been an amazing horse. I've never had a horse apart from Strawberry Road who's won 18 races, let alone 17 group races. So she just doesn't come second. If she's in it, she wins.
She is the big major. She was always going to win. It took a while, but she thoroughly deserved that, and she really. Everyone cheered at Randwick yesterday for her, and she was too good. But Shootout was on her back, given a beautiful ride by Bowman, and he was travelling. You'd think better than More Joyous, but she showed that customary acceleration that just blows the field away.
And Shandon Champagne Stakes, the third leg of the 2-year-old Triple Crown. It is our first Group 1 on Sydney Cup Mile. Here looks as if you'll have no trouble with that. Of course, he is the winner of the Golden Slipper and the Size Produce, unbeaten 5 from 5.
This is a bigger go than $100 into $10. This is $1.30 into $1.22. This is off the map.
At the 800 metre mark, and Tatra kicked away and led by about a length and a quarter now on Pierro. Raceway back to third on the rail, and then came Limes, followed by Flying Schnitzel on the outside now, starting to make a move. His Strength, he's going forward, followed next by Dear Demi and Rowie, and Trophies is back last of all as they near the home turn with 500 to run. Into the straight they come here, and Tatra led from Pierro. Raceway's under the stick already. Flying Schnitzel going up near the inside, wider out on the track. Strength and Dear Demi are running on. Limes is also with that group, but now Pierro strides up on the outside, gets the better of Tatra and races away, accelerated strongly. Then Dear Demi, but it's Pierro going for the Triple Crown. He's got it. He's going to join an elite group and remain undefeated. And Pierro goes down to beat Dear Demi. Tatra got third. Then Flying Schnitzel, followed by Rowie. Further back was Limes, and then came Strength and Trophies, and Raceway came in.
Years to take out the Triple Crown here in the autumn in Sydney. He's beaten home Dear Demi.
What words just take away? Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Taken nearly 50 years for a colt to win this race. Absolutely outstanding.
The wins under his belt, but
it's just been a phenomenal ride, and he was arrogant today. There's no other way to describe it. The way
6 out of 6, almost 3 million prize money for the horse that cost terrible.
And 16, whereas this horse is probably the opposite.
Yeah, he's probably whose Courage and Art won in the slipper, but he's the best Seahide I've seen. I think clearly.
A lot of kids here today as well. And Atlantic Jewel in those Coolmore colours. Tom Magnier has his son Charlie out for his first.
Was again today, $51 Atlantic Jewel. If you don't mind.com.au, $1.14.
All set, they're off and racing. And Rain Affair and Atlantic Jewel were the best two out. Rain Affair will stride to the front early on from Atlantic Jewel. Last of all, of course, I can. Now Reef lets him run Rain Affair. He strides away and leads by 3.5. Atlantic Jewel does the chasing second. Happy Zero is third. Albert the Fat is fourth. At about 2.5 lengths behind them, of course, I can. And Centennial Park last of all. So Rain Affair set up a nice lead coming up towards the home turn. Still about 4 lengths in front of Atlantic Jewel. Rod hasn't asked her to go yet. Followed by Happy Zero. Albert the Fat, of course, I can, and Centennial Park. They turned for home, and Rain Affair's got a big break up the rise. 3 or 4 lengths in front of Atlantic Jewel, setting it after it now. Then Happy Zero, Albert the Fat, and of course I can. Rain Affair in front. He's had to go for the whip on Atlantic Jewel. She's starting to come after Rain Affair, and then came Happy Zero. Atlantic Jewel moving up to Rain Affair. She's got a head in front. She's about a half a length on Rain Affair. Not much in the tank, but she'll get home. Atlantic Jewel beat Rain Affair. Of course I can, and Albert the Fat in a photo for third. And then
Rain Affair made her 5, but she is now 7 from 7. Atlantic Jewel, the filly by Fastnet Rock for Mark Kavanagh.
I mean, it's her first test at Weight for Age. It's first test against the boys, and she's had to work. And you know, she's done it in well. She knows how to win.
Racing at the highest level, of course, in a Melbourne Cup. Disappointments. I mean, why is this filly different to anything else you've experienced in racing? You can say something about her.
No, she's special.
That'll do. Go on your cap. They see things that we don't get to see, and they've been through things that we've only hear about with this filly. And I mean, that's probably as gregarious a bloke as he is at times, Cav. You see that. You know, it's a lot of things into perspective about him, and also about this filly.
That's what we're all talking about in the springtime. She's probably been the one that's risen to the top. You know, I think.
As far as I'm concerned, this is her best win. She was ridden a little upside down. She chased a real tough seasoned horse. She'd never been out of fillies and mares class. She's a filly that's not furnished at all. She's light. She's yet to mature. She's a superstar. She's an absolute superstar.
Today, but this is a cracking race coming up. The Queen Elizabeth Stakes over 2,000 metres. More Joyous is the favourite, but don't forget, in the meantime, the Queen Elizabeth. Richie, let's see what's happening with the betting.
Rightio, let's go right down the board. 2,000's a stretch for her. I think she can get it. It's at $3.40.
Go to the top corner with 1,000 to go. And the Doncaster winner, More Joyous, on the quick pack, up led by a couple of lengths on Rekindled Interest, running second, about 2 lengths astern. Jimmy Shue is third, followed by Secret Admirer. Then Manighar on the inside, 3/4 American, Rangy Rangdu, and Speediness 2 or 3 away at the tail of the field. No change in the order, 800 to 1. And More Joyous led out clearly by a couple of lengths. Rekindled Interest is on its hammer in second spot from Jimmy Shue. Now Williams is starting to stoke American up. He's making his move on the outside. Then the Manighar getting off the fence, followed by Rangy Rangdu on the outside. Speediness looking to get up on the fence. As they run to the home turn, they're bunched right up. And Secret Admirer in the centre. More Joyous under a hold as they come up the rise. Led from Rekindled Interest, Speediness on the fence, but More Joyous went into another gear. She exploded away from Rekindled Interest. Then Speediness, Manighar, Rangy Rangdu down the outside, but over the last 200 metres, More Joyous is clear. She's in front. Oh, we should never have doubted her. More Joyous is going down to the post to win the Queen Elizabeth in a canter. Manighar second, Secret Admirer third. And then we've got Rangy Rangdu, Rekindled Interest, American, Jimmy Shue, and Speediness knocked up the finish last. And Speediness knocked up the finish last.
Oh, she's a champion mare. More Joyous, number 7. That's her 8th Group 1, and she has run them ragged. He got to the front there, Nash on her.
One for More Joyous, only Sunline and Black Caviar have got more than her. Females 13 and 10 for those two.
But she's going to keep racing this one, more Joyous.
Has been compared to the great mare Sunline, and yesterday's performance was why. And all the way win, she wasn't to be doubted at the trip. Some did. The first mare to win the Doncaster Queen Elizabeth double.
Oh, look, she's a champion mare, and she just destroyed one of the hottest fields assembled in a weight for age 2,000 metre race at Randwick for as long as I can remember. Unbelievable.
There's no doubt about her quality. There's no doubt about her class. There's no doubt that Gay has worked out brilliant tactics for a lot of her horses here. I mean, I can't understand the tactics from the other riders, knowing that in a sprint home, they were no chance of ever beating her.
But there isn't. Don't forget, Black Caviar will be showing you her race, the Sporting Bet Classic. Look at that crowd at Morfordville. Absolutely chock-a-block to see the great mare go for 20 wins from 20 starts. And they're just behind the gates. He always loads her into the gates. He's got the Black Caviar colours.
Right up is last. Nolan keen to come off the pace. He allows the other two to go clear at the 650 metre mark. It's just Sybil down on the inside, leading from specifically outside. Black Caviar, she sits 2 lengths away, third from Shekinah. Then came Power Princess from Tabulated Sistine Angel. Then came Lone Rock from Valentine Miss, and last is All Fried Up. They're on the home turn. The anticipation is starting to build. Black Caviar goes up and hits the lead. On the outside, Power Princess is trying to match her. At the 250, Nolan's got a stranglehold on Black Caviar. She looks at the 30,000 strong crowd and says, geez, I'm good. No, I'm not good. I'm best you've ever seen in the world. Black Caviar, she's better than a perfect 10. She comes on. She's 20 out of 20. Caviar, full lengths. Great go for second. Sistine Angel got it for mine. Photo third between Power Princess and Lone Rock. Too close to... Is this really happening? This is just unbelievable.
Was in Australian racing yesterday when all the stars were on show and they all delivered. Black Caviar, 20 out of 20 in Adelaide. Atlantic Jewel making it 7 in Sydney. More Joyous continuing her record-breaking way. And, of course, Wyoming was in 1919 to 1921. And
But I'm asking Mark about a few.
there's a goal.
Mark saw a run.
1915 to 1917. So this has been a 3-year odyssey for Black Caviar, up to 20 now. And picked the names of the turf there. Winning margin average, 3.5 lengths. That's about good enough.
What was I'm sure you probably could have heard the cheers all the way from Melbourne, Ronnie. A day in Australian racing where we had so many highlights, a day dominated by the mares.
Yeah, it certainly was, Joe, and the final.
It's been a decade dominated by mares. You know, if you go back right to the beginning of the noughties, I think the mares have been the top of the pops for quite some time now. I don't know why that is, but yesterday were unbelievable. 30, I don't know, that 30,000 people, something like that, went there. I've never seen that many people there before in my life, and
for the home straight now, and Brown nursing Barracky at the 400. It slipped about 3 in front quickly on Blacksmith, and they've gapped Chester, followed further back by Cavallo Pazzo. He draws the whip on Barracky when they come to the 200. He's 4 in front of Blacksmith. Cavallo Pazzo, Kid Schwarzier is really riding him along, and it's the Bulls Bullet in full flight with 100 metres to go. 8 in a line. Never in doubt, and Barracky pushed right out, races away to win by paddles. Barracky by 5.5, Cavallo Pazzo. Zesta third home from Kid Schwarzier, Meagham's Boy. Blacksmith was next home, and Rebel Fury is last in the Northern Toyota Stakes. Oh, what a feeling. $1.10 and $1. Barracky.
The little kids, again, dressed in the Black Caviar silks. The flags are there behind, and the race due to start at 10 to 5 our time, Eastern time. Of course, that's 4:20 South Australian time. Have a look at the crowd there at the totes too. Black Caviar, well, she is a $1 favourite, $1 even money. New South
runners, particularly Under the Sun,
and Black reigns supreme there at Morford. Well, they've had a huge day's race, and you get
set to go. Racing. And Catapult had missed the start by a couple of lengths, and Black Caviar was out well. Goes up to eyeball the early leader, Outlandish Lad, and we hold the ace, and the Great Mare's going to lead. Streetcar Magic's outside of her, being on towards the 600. We hold the ace, the 300 to 1 outsider. Black Caviar has the neck, now the body in front. She goes clear. Then Streetcar Magic from Outlandish Lad. Further back came Go the Knuckle, catapulted along the inside, and Sterling Grove is wider as they make the home turn. Then came out wider on the track, We're Gonna Rock at the 350. It's Black Caviar leading, about a half length in front of Streetcar Magic. Nolan sits quietly. Down the outside, We're Gonna Rock's coming home well. Black Caviar 2 in front. We're Gonna Rock's up to second. Sterling Grove goes to third. He hasn't moved on Black Caviar. Black Caviar, the equine superstar of the world. And that's 21 today. Won by a length and a half. We're Gonna Rock was gallant. What a great run. Third, Sterling Grove, 5 away. Fourth, Streetcar. End of the field, the time is roughly 1:10.3.
And she'll go to England and beat them there.
Yeah, she got the 21st celebration, that is for sure.
Picking up win number 21.
Yeah, congratulations to Adelaide too, Joe. They put on a show there. I think everyone was happy. And for them to get that crowd back twice just shows you the power of Black Caviar. And it looked
Black Caviar, yes, record for winning margins, but she doesn't have to.
No, she does not. 21 today and couldn't blow a candle out. She was just didn't raise a sweat there. Australia Post the other day and bought a folder of Black Caviar stamps for $12.95. You get the 20 wins on each stamp. It's well worth getting. You know, you can put them. You can use
$3.50. The 1 Star Streamed is at $3.70, and the 5 is Fast
For racing this time, and Fast Lover went back again, and so did Star Streamed. Diamond Heist won the start. It's getting 700 is serving it right up the Latin American, and they're going hard. It's about a length in front of it. Captain Fun to third, then Diamond Heist, then Stay Put. Now Star Streamed is starting to put itself into the picture, and Fast Lover is starting to try and tack it forward, and Blind Justice is at the rear. They run onto the turn past the 400. On the inside, Latin American regained the lead, but oh gee, Starstream's got it already. Starstream raced up on the outside and hit the front and say straightened up. Now Fast Lover moves into second and tries to get it after Starstreamed, but Starstreamed in front at the 120. It's a length and a half for 2 in front. It's holding Fast Lover. Welcome back, Bradley. Starstream's going to win it by a length to the corner to Fast Lover. Took home Diamond Heist and a long gap to Stay Put, Blind Justice. Further back on the field was Latin American, which got very tired.
Light still flashing. There's the signal now, and off they go. Alito wasn't all that fast out. I think she missed the start about a length. King Crow Van General Hap got out quickly to find a lead L to the outside, but has only got a handful, if that, behind her. Fast Focus, Ginger's Gem, and then Secret Strata Gem as they made the turn. So with 400 to go, Mondini narrowly had the front from Defined Angel, Prince Stratum. Ollie is winding this one up, though. Elite L, she has rounded them up pretty quickly. And at the 200, Elite L sailed to the lead from Prince Stratum, Defined Angel. King Crow Van battles away with Milan, and then Election. Elite L drew clear over the last 100 metres. This is why she's been well back. She goes all right. And Elite L won by 2 lengths, has overcome a slow start and beat Prince Stratum, King Crovan, with Milan in 4th place. And then Secret Strata Gem, and she's vain to...
Well named. She might just be elite. 3:30 into 2.
We're inside the last minute of betting here for this very, very good race, the Coca-Cola Amatil. Scenic Blast is the 1. He's at $8.90. The favourite here is number 2, Buffering, $1.30 on the tote.
Now, this is him coming in now. Has he got enough speed to cross Buffering and lead him? And they're racing now. And Buffering and Adebisi, they came out together. Who's got the early speed? Adebisi's going quickly. No, he won't cross Buffering. And the little bulldog Buffering railed up on the inside and joined Adebisi, going around the first Money Saver. And 2 to Starstream last of all. Buffering leads at the bend, 500 metres to go. Scenic Blast has gone to second. Adebisi's dropped off here. And 5 lengths away, Captain Clayton. Buffering led around the turn, 400 metres to go. Out by 2 lengths now. Scenic Blast in second spot. Adebisi's gone, followed by Money Saver. But Buffering clear, coming to the 200 metres mark. Buffering out by 2.5. Scenic Blast second, 5 lengths away. Money Saver, but inside the 200 metres mark, and Buffering is racing away. He's showing his class here today, Buffering. He's 5 lengths to Scenic Blast than Money Saver, and Buffering will bolt in. Buffering won by 7 lengths to Scenic Blast. Money Saver on the fence ran third. 7 lengths Captain Clayton, followed then by Starstream. I'm just having a look at Adebisi come over the line. It was
good for them, Buffering. The recent form was right. $1.40. Most of the Group 1s for the Queensland Winter Carnival, and always a good race, this race. And there's the market mover on screen, number 5, Wurram. He's at $6.30 in a very open race at the moment. Now $6.90, $7.30 for C Siren, and Neeson $7. Ronnie's gone for the 12 here. Verena Miss.
There's a Group 1 VTC Cup. Here's Alan Thomas. That's her on.
Scenic Blast getting back on the fence. Black Piranha's a long way back with Elite Falls. And Warham's 2 up at the rear. Anabisi at the 700 metres mark out by 3.5. Sea Siren second. A length and a half to beat it. Third, Verenamus getting a good run. It's in fourth, then for Seal T. Grey, followed by Neeson. Spirit of Boom, Satin Shoe, Scenic Blast. Temple of Boom's a long way back from Black Piranha, Elite Falls and Warham. Anabisi heads up for home at the 300, 2 clear. Here's Sea Siren coming after it quickly. Beat it, pull to the outside, followed by Verenamus, and further back is Neeson. Sea Siren went to Anabisi, beat it on the outside, and Scenic Blast coming. It is Sea Siren the leader. Beat it, and Scenic Blast flying home, and it's Sea Siren front close to home, and Sea Siren won it from either Beat It or Scenic Blast. Verenamus in the photo for fourth, with Spirit of Boom than Anabisi. Neeson, Temple of Boom and Warham. Number 15, Sea Siren, Jim Cassidy for John O'Shea, the 3-year-old filly.
15. It's number 2.
On the board for the first time in race number 7 here on the card. Kenny's World, $8.50. It's all the way out to 11.
Another good one, so it'll be worth it.
It's been 3 years since Jimmy Cassidy's won a Group 1, recently inducted into the Australian Hall of Fame, back into the G1 Winners' Circle yesterday.
On paper, that looks a gut-buster, 181 race record. Some champions have won that race. They're in the same breath as Private Steer.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. Same sort of path.
I did, yeah, probably get going here. And for Semi, Highland, I love. Reefed and pulled for the first 2,000. You thought Bossy might say, well, hang on, I might get going here. And for Semi, Highland, I love. Making excuses for him about the mounting yard. 6 is number 6, Mental, off the map. They bet black figures yesterday and the day before. Not there anymore. 190 into 180. This is a big go. Number 6, Mental, race 6.
Nothing racing. Oh, Mental came out about 3rd or 4th last, but his good Barry will allow him to Daffodil from the outside, a half to punch on. A length and a half to Double Impact. Easy running on the fence. Morning Captain is 5th on the inside, followed by State of Wealth. Biggles going around them. They're closely followed by Mental trying to get off the fence, and MR Rocks on the move as they round the corner. Punch on led, 350 to go from Daff and Wealth on the outside. MR Rocks pulled out. Mental is now in the clear, starting to come home well. 300 metres left to go, and MR Rock went to the lead. Mental's after him. Biggles next on the outside. Mental on the outside. Oh, he's raced to the lead with 100 metres to go. We thought he'd do this, Mental. Then he is. He's racing away from MR Rock. Mental beat MR Rock. Boys on tour ran 3rd from Daff and Elf. Biggles out, Smoke and Rock behind those. Double Impact. And he wins and wins impressively, and he's got more wins in store. There's no doubt about that. And Peter Snowden.
Straight.
Little looks a very good 3-year-old in the making. Win number 5 from now 8 starts in the Fred Best Classic.
Look, I'm a big fan of the horse, and I say settle down, settle down. Stradbroke favourite, I'm not so sure.
Let's have a look at the Doomben Cup. As Bruce rightly said, this is a huge go, Manighar. I think everyone was the same thought, thinking, it'll get out. They won't bet that price. It won't be that short. Well, bang, it is. And it's very, very, very short. Manighar, all the big punters are all over this. Very, very keen. 175.
The Triple Honour on the fence, and 2.5 to Lights of Heaven. 3 parts Wingo, a length and a half to She's Sensational on the outside, a Scenic Shot. A bit more than a length for Teller. Now Manighar's back on the rail. He's only got 3 behind him going to the 900. They are booming, and they're followed then by Fibrillation, Sane and Costa's last of all. They're coming down the side. Inside the 800, Wall Street, 3 parts, Mr. Light Blue. 1 Triple Honour. Lights of Heaven's had a perfect run, 4th the outside. Scenic Shot about to go up 3 deep. She's Sensational trying to improve. Marwingo on the fence. Manighar's getting off the rail, coming to the turn. He's in between runners. 4 Tellers next. Then Fibrillation, Booming, Sane and Costa. They're coming around the bend. Mr. Light Blue went to the lead from Wall Street. Triple Honour, Lights of Heaven. Scenic Shot came up on the outside. And now Manighar's pulled out to make his run to the 200 metres mark. And it's Lights of Heaven, Scenic Shot. Marwingo got through. Manighar down the outsides, finishing well. Lights of Heaven and Marwingo have taken the lead. Marwingo's going the better, and Marwingo will beat Lights of Heaven in the Doomben Cup, and Manighar 3rd. Photo 4th. Scenic Shot of Fibrillation, followed by She's Sensational, Triple Honour. The next team, Marwingo, Anthony Friedman and Nash Rawilla win the Doomben Cup. So Peter Moody will have to be settled with 2nd and 3rd. Lights of Heaven. And now they ran 34.43 the last 600.
The German import, he only arrived in Australia 14 weeks ago and he stepped up to the Group 1 plate in a very short time. You had to stave off a protest to get your first Group 1, Anthony?
Yeah, it was, as I said, I thought it was ambitious.
What did you think then? I mean, we just saw the replay. Here they are going to that first turn. They're 6 or 7 wide. Peter Moody arguing that Manighar was getting into a position that they wanted to, and Nash prevented him from doing that. And the decision has been made this morning that Fox Wedge will not go to England and has run his last race. 13 starts for 5 wins, just under $1 million in prize money, and as I say, becomes a stallion at Newgate Farm. On the pot
is Captain Fastback. Now he's got 5, 2 and 3 here, Moody. Now from the top, Isopac's 5.
Remember, Brambles shot away down by the 700. He's opened up here. He's 5 clear from St. Sally. Then Calamy Grand. Urali's been called upon. They're followed by Redshift. Durnford is next, followed by Raining. Soros is strung up a little bit here, coming up to the home turn. And the next horse is Arding and Isopac as they come around the bend. Brambles first for home. He's got a big break. He's 5 Urali. Redshift to the outside. Arding on the fence. Soros trying to pick up ground. And Durnford is wider out, but Brambles came past the 200. He's 4 clear. Manawanui is running home into second spot, followed by Redshift, but it's all Brambles with 100 metres left to go. And Brambles in the run of the post will bolt in. He'll win by 3. Manawanui second. Redshift will be third, just in front there of Soros. The next time in the race was Arctic, and then...
And that's 2 wins on end. The Rough Habit into the Grand Prix for Bram. Yeah, good luck. Thanks, Robert. Thanks. Shane, there's Tight Test best.
Adopting catch me if you can tactics on Brambles. They didn't get near him, and they probably won't in the Derby either.
Yeah, don't like going early, Crow, but it does look like Peter Moody's Derby. He's got...
A fortnight away is the Queensland Derby. Brambles the...
A solid favourite. There's the market for the Doom of 10,000 now. At Sporting Bet right now, it's $5, buffering in from $5.50. Warren at 14, P.C. Siren the favourite at $4.60. So...
Then comes Scenic Blast. Midsummer Music's back towards the fence from Ladies Angel, Pinwheel, and further back is Feeling Ready as they come around the turn, buffering and out of Beezy led on the outside. Temple of Boom, and there's a run for Siren. She's dashing through in the middle, and they're followed by Midsummer Music, but buffering at the 200 metres mark. Forward on Siren runs inside, and then Temple of Boom, but it's buffering and Siren together with 100 metres to go. Siren on the inside, just in front, and the fillies going to do it. Siren beat buffering. Photo between Temple of Boom and Spirit of Boom. They're followed by Feeling Ready the next time, Pinwheel, and then comes Sistine Angel.
She's done what no 3-year-old filly's ever done before and won the Doomben 10,000, beating buffering and Temple. The filly has just set new records, and she is obviously a star. And looking forward to seeing her in the spring when she matches up against the older horses again, but she's already proved she can beat them.
At West, and have a look at the feature race run in Perth yesterday as we take a much-needed break.
He's back. Lucky Gray.
3 lengths covered the field, and it was Late Night Flight in front of Grand Nirvana. No run, Cream Away had to be Clorker. O'Donnell hasn't moved a muscle though on the fave. Here he goes now. He gives him a little rub on the ribs, and Lucky Gray went straight past them. 100 to go. Lucky Gray shot 3 in front. Grand Nirvana had to be Clorker. Then came our old fella, but this is a canter. What a stunning return by Lucky Gray to win the Roma Cup by 3.
Down right on the line. That hurts if you're back to Arch Madness. Adam,
he's got
Adam, so you think at $1.10, he was okay to buy in the world.
As they race towards the last half mile, Robin Hood not so far in front, but still about 3 in front now from So You Think moving up on the outside in second. Famous Name coming after him. Elusive Ridge pushed along, and Bible Belt is last with the 5 runners as they round the turn for home. And So You Think ranges up to his stablemate Robin Hood and takes the lead. Famous Name is just about a length and a half behind. Elusive Ridge dropping back. Bible Belt making a little bit of ground as they race towards the last 2 furlongs, and it's So You Think the leader. Famous Name poised to challenge. Robin Hood is next, then Bible Belt as they race down towards the final furlong. So You Think out in front. Famous Name under pressure in second. They've gone away from Robin Hood and Bible Belt now, and inside the final furlong in the Tattersall's Gold Cup, it's So You Think and Joseph O'Brien striding away to win in good style. Famous Name, no impression inside the final furlong, up to the line. It's a 9th Group 1 win for So You Think. Wins it easily from Famous Name in second, Robin Hood, Bible Belt and Elusive Ridge.
Heading down to the final furlong now, and So You Think in front by a couple of lengths to Famous Name as they race inside the final furlong. It's So You Think who's the leader out in front of Famous Name and going to repeat his victory of last year in good style. So You Think storms home, a good 6-length winner for Joseph O'Brien. Second home, Famous Name, Robin Hood, Bible Belt and Elusive Ridge.
He did what he had to do, So You Think. Joseph O'Brien on board. Robin Hood was the pacemaker.
Train galloper, son of Sababil, the Rough Habit and the Grand Prix winner. You've also got Zabillionaire 550 into 460.
Back to runners. Number 1, Zabillionaire, 550 into 480. And number 2, Brambles, 370 into $3.30.
Was well away, as was Post Restant Express Warrior. Here's a charge from out wide. Victoria, Brambles, Tickle all go forward. Isopac and Quintessential even deeper. Tahunga just tucking in behind them, but still a bit deep. Going back to midfield then was Rock the Pack, followed by Rock the Pack, Zabillionaire. He couldn't shoot them with a gun at this stage. He's a long way back. Then Scream Machine, Vardavai. He's in the same bat as Zabillionaire. And 3 to Lacrapitus last of all. The Derby favourite Brambles is a clear leader. Quintessential though, she's got him within his sights. She's 2 lengths behind him as they approach the turn. Isopac third, west-southwest getting a move on. Then Tahunga and Redship taking the short way home. Pitching inside runs, they're in the straight. And Brambles the leader. Rawilla gave the favourite, it's killed and booted. Quintessential's trying hard, still 2 lengths astern. Then Tahunga, west-southwest and Redship. They're in the last 200 metres of the Derby, and it's Brambles in front. He's flat on his feet. Quintessential's going to make a race of it. Brambles in front. Quintessential trying hard. No! Brambles all the way. Brambles from either Quintessential or west-southwest, then Tahunga and Vardavai. Followed by
Brambles in front coming to the 200. Quintessential trying to get out after it, then Tahunga. But Brambles is the leader with 100 metres left to go. Quintessential trying to bridge the gap. Brambles a length in front. Quintessential can't get there. And Brambles will lead all of the way. A great win of the Derby. From Quintessential, west-southwest and Tahunga. Vardavai got home and it was all over. Zabillionaire never got in the call. They're followed.
Oh, what a dominant win there, number 2, Brambles. For Peter Moody and Brad Rawilla, the son of Samabill, just holding on there from the gallant filly Quintessential in second.
Big go, Alberton Park, heavily back. There's the English interim dividends, race 6 at Eagle Farm on the Derby. 2 Brambles, heavily.
I was worried. Running them off their feet to win the Group 1 Queensland Derby yesterday. Beautifully rated, AT.
That led all the way like that to win a Queensland Derby, and I can't remember one. It was a little bit roguish, wasn't it? I mean, we haven't had, might and power probably, but to find fast front running stayers is a very, very difficult task.
Do not see Derby winners lead all the way. You just don't see it. Don't worry about Queensland Derbies. Derbies in general are not won by front runners. That horse used to pull his head off and not settle in his races. Moody's just said, okay, let's just let him run. That'll fix him. And it's worked. It's actually worked. He's a serious front running stayer.
Up there in Brisbane, of course, she won the Light Fingers here in February in Sydney, and then she's gone and won the BTC Cup, the Group 1 and the Doomben 10,000. She's going for 3 Group 1s in a row here for Keith Biggs, John O'Shea and the team. Jimmy Cassidy, of course, on board, $4.80 into $4.40. Up the top there, number 1.
51, Listen Sun 81, Midsummer Music 31, Sistine Angel Stradbroke. Thank God you're here, the inside runner. And they're racing. Great start out. Seasire began brilliantly. And Cassidy quickly on the move wants to take it to the lead. He'll steady in a moment. Tiger T's coming up on the outside. Buffering is going quickly from out wide. And Listen Sun, and they're the first 4. Thank God you're here. Selling back 5th on the inside from Temple of Boom, from Spirit of Boom, Midsummer Music, followed by Happy Zero. Triple Elegance, followed by Shopaholic, Torios Quest, and Sistine Angel. And Feeling Ready last of all. 800 metres to go. Listen Sun is the leader next to Tiger T's. Buffering is over, one off the fence on the outside of Sea Siren, and that's where they were in the 10,000. Celtic Dancers back 5th, thank God you're here on the rail. Then Temple of Boom, Spirit of Boom, Midsummer Music, and they're followed then by a Happy Zero, Pinwheel, Verenimus, and World Princess a long way back with Sistine Angel, Triple Elegance. Listen Sun, the leader, thank God you're here, went up on the inside. Buffering came at them, Tiger T's. Sea Siren's trying to pick up, and Midsummer Music is next.
Pinwheel down the outside. Buffering hit the lead. 200 metres to go. Midsummer Music coming at them. Temple of Boom and Pinwheel down the outside. Buffering and Midsummer Night Music the leader, but Midsummer Music fought on. Midsummer Music's taken the lead from Buffering, draws away. Midsummer Music from either Buffering or Happy Zero. Pinwheels run fourth. The next time in the race, Temple of Boom, Spirit of Boom. And Wealth Princess is last.
Oh, she's turned her form round on the Doom at 10,000. Midsummer Music takes out the Stradbroke for 2012. For Peter Moody, that combination, and Luke Nolan. Gee, she was dominant.
Music. $26 it started with the bookmakers. Sorry, got out to 31 if you don't mind. That'll be your maxi div. $28.90 and $8.
With this one. No, exactly. I doubted her, and she's made a mug out of me again, and I hope she continues doing it for a while.
Midsummer Music, the first mare to win the Stradbroke in 76 years. And who would have thought when she won a Warwick Nabil maiden way back? Peter Moody wanted to sack her from the stable after that, and it was Linda Meach who rode at a victory that day, AT, that pleaded with him to stick with her, and it proved worthwhile yesterday.
Well, you can have a look behind me here. It is absolutely bucketing down. So if the Stradbroke was run today, just think how far further that horse would have won by, because when the track dried out, everybody thought its chances were going to be diminished. Went out. Buffering had the weight and the 18 gate and just found him out. He was courageous.
Just ahead of number 2, Cope AT, but we're only 4 minutes away from the Brisbane Cup. Of course, it is now a Group 2 over 2,400 metres. Favourite is Mawingo, been very well back there for the Brisbane Cup. $3.50 into $3, and Lights of Heaven money is now starting to come there. $3.50 into $3.40.
Larry's Never Late, Ruben Percival, a length and a half away in third, and Mawingo getting a lovely run on the fence. Now Lights of Heaven is in fifth position, one away from the rail in a good spot, followed by Dance With Her on the rail of Verminator. They're followed then by Absolutely, then comes Saint and Costa, followed by Count and Costa, and a long way back, Shammer Dashing and Spachanka last of all. As they wheel the corner, Czar Magic the leader. Mawingo's going to go up on the inside. Larry's Never Late, Ruben Percival. Lights of Heaven's pulled out from the middle of the track and wasn't starting to run on. 300 metres left to go, and Lights of Heaven's gone to the lead from Mawingo. They're followed by Ruben Percival. Wasn't on the outside, but it's Lights of Heaven in front of Mawingo with 100 metres left to go. Oh, what a day for Peter Moody. Lights of Heaven's racing away in the Brisbane Cup. Will bolt in from a close photo between Dance With Her and Mawingo, and wasn't as fourth. The next time a nudger one, and they're followed by Ruben Percival.
Oh, what a top mare she is. Lights of Heaven by Sabille for Pete Moody and Luke Nolan. As Alan Thomas said, what a day for them. Super day, and she is today, and she is just a super little mare. She's had 14 starts, 6 wins, 4 minor placings. She's beaten home. It looks as if perhaps Dance With Her might have got the bob in.
Cup 3, 8, 2 and 12. 3 Lights of Heaven. $3.60, 188 Dance With Her.
Racing's biggest day of the year yesterday, and it was one of its favourite sons, Peter Moody, who stole the show. The main actor for the stable might be thousands of miles away, Ronnie, but the Moody Nolan show rolled on at Eagle Farm.
Peter Moody describes it his best day at the races. He's a Queenslander through and through. And what about the other little maroon?
It's, what do I say? It's pinch yourself stuff. And, 2 Group 1s and a Group 2. And the 2-time honoured races of Queensland, I feel. I know the Brisbane Cup's not a Group 1, it's now a Group 2. But, it's just a wonderful thrill.
It was her first try at the 2,400 metres, AT.
Yeah, well, he set it for this carnival, didn't he, Peter Moody? And he, she'd run second in the Prime Minister's Cup, and then Mawingo beat her in the Doomben Cup. Still, is Cox Plate too rich for this horse?
So. I think so. I think they've all been well placed up there. I think you've got Lights of Heaven right in the right spot at the right time, and no doubt about it, just placed beautifully there. I think Mawingo's been placed well up there. I think they go to the spring, and I think those horses have got to look at the Group 2 level, or dodging the Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate, Melbourne Cup horses through the other Group 1 races that have run over the spring. That includes Sydney as well. So well placed there.
Big win of the day anywhere in Australia. Lucky Gray in the West carried 61 kilos in the Belmont Sprint, coming out of the widest gate, and he nearly got knocked over on the turn.
Just came through, and now Lucky Gray hits overdrive. It's Lucky Gray under the big white, reaching the lead. O'Donnell shakes him up, he pulls away. That is just absolute class. He uses quality. Lucky Gray under the big white, wide draw, gave them a start. Too good for them in the sprint.
poised behind them. Then Weepu is hanging a little bit. He's been pushed 3 wide there. Cerberus went up underneath him. Ptolemy's in the middle as they run for home. And the leader, Master Chef, Diamond Earth, comes up on the outside, and the cheetah made a line of 3. He's still sitting quietly on it, and then Weepu wider out. And further back was Ptolemy, but Nachita went up and hit the lead in the centre and led from Diamond Earth, and then came in behind them Weepu. But this is starting to open up now, Nachita. He's sitting very quietly, and it's going to absolutely bolt in. Another star here by the looks of it in the making for Patinack. Beat Diamond Earth, and back in behind them next we had in third spot Ptolemy, followed by Weepu and Cerberus, and then Master Shep at the rear of the field.
Oh, I think she's something pretty smart. Number 6, Nachita, another winner for Fastnet.
Is in behind them, followed by Clicks Miss Zoom, and then came Lady Melksham out 3 wide. Does have some cover though. 2 lengths further back is Stacey Lee. Hand cut last, nearing the turn. Flash of Doubt, the leader from over on the outside. Taylor's Command, and Sluicey's a length back on the rail from Raining Lass. Lady Melksham's crept up behind these, about 3 or 4 lengths off the leaders. Benari getting up on the inside. Into the straight they race now, and down towards the 250 metre mark. And here it's Sluicey tackled by Flash of Doubt. Melksham, Lady Melksham looks to have claimed them now on the outside, and Stacey Lee's made up a lot of ground, but Lady Melksham zooms away 3 lengths in front now. Stacey Lee runs on well, but this could be a little superstar. Lady Melksham won it by 3.5, eased up. Raining Lass kicks to get second in the middle. Either Hand Cut a good run or Stacey Lee for third, clear of Clicks, Sluice, same as Zoom, followed further back by Benaria and as Command.
It's a nice leg up, isn't it? If I've got any idea about this caper, it'll be right there in the finish. It's right there, all right. Brilliant win here. That's Johnny Sadler we're talking about. Bossy rode it with the arrogance that Bossy loves to do on Lady Melksham. Big win.
Thanks on what it was doing, and I think she's a very serious horse here, so it might be a group horse. So I know you don't want to get carried away. Winter tracks, wet ground, but she should give me a feel when I could have won by 15 if I let it go. So
the features this afternoon on Sky Racing, Belmont, 1,600 metres. Lucky Grey, $1.40 is the dog.
Bound in the Hyperion at the 450, and Late Night Flight tackled and quickly headed by Grand Nirvana. It's Grand Nirvana sprinting to the lead. Rosie Rocket into the clear, and now O'Donnell calls upon the fave. Lucky Grey beginning to wind up as Grand Nirvana heads to the 200 clear. Grand Nirvana, Lucky Grey with a fight on his hands, starts to dig in. Grand Nirvana, Lucky Grey, Rosie Rocket. Grand Nirvana's in front. Lucky Grey about to level up with him. O'Donnell pulls the whip. The Grey's too good. Lucky Grey, he's done it again. Lucky Grey home in the Hyperion, wins from Rosie Rocket or Grand Nirvana. They gap the others a long way back. Reimbursement, Battle Emblem, Colour Correct, and Late Night Flight from Monaghetti. Our old fella second last, and trailing them home last of all, the stayer Guest Wing. Lucky Grey took the
feature races. This is the first race, 11:30 Tuesday night Eastern time. Frankel the favourite. So You Think won't be lining up in the race.
You're on a horse. Tremendous value now, because Frankel is trading at 1-9 for the Queen Anne Stakes. A situation that has never been seen before in this event. 1-9, Frankel.
He's just coming round to
like this before. In British racing, we simply do not get 1 to 10 shots in Group 1 races, Gary. Racing in Europe is
heading now towards the halfway stage, the 4 furlong marker, and Frankel lying at a close-up 4th, following in his stable companion Slipstream. Bullet Train from Helmet on the right, on the left Acceleration. Quealy is just edging out now to the right and gets a clear view of the front, and he's ranging up to join Bullet Train. Worth Ad side glance, Red Jazz pushed along, Strong Suit, Premier Loco, and it's Frankel that gallops into the lead. Acceleration is again trying to go with him as they race inside the final quarter mile, and Quealy says go on the champ. It's Frankel that leads the way, and he opens up in tremendous style. 4 or 5 lengths clear of Acceleration. The rest are well beaten off, and it's all the ones for Frankel. It's going to be 11 from 11 here. The champion of the world, Frankel, in majestic form by 8 or 9 in the Queen Anne. Brilliant performance. In second, Acceleration just holding on from Side Glance on the near side.
More rain as he moves up now with 3 furlongs left to travel. He says go on Frankel. Frankel races now to a narrow lead. Acceleration trying to go with him. The old rival. They've got 2 furlongs left to go on the Queen Anne. And now he starts to shake the reins at Frankel. He gets an immediate response. The champion starts to draw away. He's gone 3 lengths in front. Acceleration can find no more. And this is a procession. It's now Frankel who's drawing away. What a performance. The superb, the spectacular Frankel. 11 out of 11 and in a zone of his own. It's Frankel who wins it by 8 lengths. Acceleration gets second. In third then is Side Glance, followed by Indomito who ran on wetsuit. But what a mighty performance by the highest rated horse in the world. It's Frankel, and what an exciting start to a magnificent week in Prospect. 10-1 on Frankel, 5-1 Acceleration, 33-1 Side Glance.
Fast field. I believe that Acceleration is 11 lengths. 11 lengths? What sort of silly prices were being bandied around for 5 lengths or more? You don't win these races by 11 lengths, do you?
We should have had that 10 to. He's waving, he's saluting, he's surrounded by cameramen, reporters, and thunderous applause all the way back to the winner's enclosure as he passes us.
Goosebump moment with the horses and the industry that we work in, but that was definitely one of them.
But I think this is the best performance by a racehorse I've ever seen. Frankel in the Queen Anne Stakes.
Well, I don't think you're going to get too many arguments from anyone. I think he was ridden to make a statement, worrying about what was going to happen on the last day, but he performed. He was asked to perform, and he did perform. Have a look at this.
It'll be 11 from 11 here. The champion of the world, Frankel in majestic form by 8 or 9 in the Queen Anne. Brilliant performance.
With a provisional time form rating of 147, Frankel is the highest rated animal ever to have walked the earth, at least since the ratings have been published. It was thought that the 145 rating of Seabird would never be beaten, but with a phenomenal effort in the Queen Anne, Frankel has done. Ratings are speculative and subjective and can be debated ad nauseum, but this is bred to win, so we thought we'd analyse how the plus 140 monsters listed here have gone as stallions.
Prince of Wales' Stakes Group 1 category, and the moment we've all been waiting for. So you think, by far the best horse on ratings. He's got £6 at least in hand of Carlton House. 10-11. So
all the time they're heading uphill towards home, and Robin Hood takes them along by 2 lengths. The Big Blue Kitten in second, 2 away, so you think, with the run of the race. A length away, Columbian on the inside of Wigmore Hall. A length into Carlton House, who's tucked away on the inside as they come to the turn. City Style on his outer. A length and a half further back, then Sri Putra from Planteur, and then out the back is Far with Reliable Man. They're on the turn for home in the Prince of Wales Estate, straightening up, and Robin Hood coming under pressure, grabbed by Big Blue Kitten. Here's So You Think. Joseph O'Brien produced on the outside, and now getting a run on the inside is Carlton House. Carlton House has now raced to a narrow lead. Now he gets to work on So You Think. Carlton House has stolen it half a length, but now So You Think is coming at him. A furlong left to go, and on the near side it's So You Think. He takes it up. He's powering away. This is the real So You Think. So You Think goes on to win the Prince of Wales Stakes. In second is Carlton House. Flashing home for third is Far, followed then by Reliable Man and Sri Putra. Further back is City Style, and there were Pacemaker. Robin Hood has finished absolute last. The winner is number 9, So You Think, recording his 10th Group 1 victory. This much-travelled international superstar has won the 150th anniversary of the Prince of Wales Stakes. He's won it by about 3 from Carlton House, who got first run on him.
Have moved on from Columbian Wigmore Hall. Now on the far side, the Royal Runner Carlton House. So You Think with a narrow advantage. So You Think by a neck from Carlton House. They remain clear, and it's So You Think driven out towards the line. Who's 2 to 3 lengths clear and will take his prize money through the £5 million barrier. So You Think a world star won the Prince of Wales's. Second for Trust, possibly Carlton House. and reliable man, both.
So you think, runner-up 12 months ago behind Rewilding, wins the Prince of Wales's, and it's his 10th Group 1 of a wonderful career. Joseph O'Brien.
After the race, admitting the error of his ways in training, so you think he's finally found the key to the horse?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's found the key to the horse. He's certainly a champion racehorse. This was a dominant win. Obviously, the horse is going to stud now, so they're pulling the Coolmore line out. You know, should it be unbeaten? And we've just realised how to train this horse. But look, take nothing away from him. He's an absolute star in his own right, and this is a dominant win. Look, have a look at this far. This third horse here along the fence. He should have nearly won this race. If you go back and analyse it, he got held up all the way and lost a lot of momentum. Nice horse, that third horse.
Was the Quinella from the last year's Melbourne Cup will be in the race. Junavdan and also Red Cadeau will be clashing. Sea Moon is on the top of the top.
Cat racing uphill towards the 5, and the leader on the inside is Testosterone by half a length to Memphis, Tennessee. Out very wide is Quest for Peace, and in behind them in the centre, battling away then is Dunedin. Trapped very wide is Aiken, who's made a fast forward move about 5 deep around the field to go up and join the leader. So as they race towards the entrance to the straight in the Hardwick, and it's Testosterone a half length to Aiken, who's swept around the outside now to challenge. Fiorenti's in behind them. Hunter's Light poised, followed by Jackalbury, Sea Moon. Dunedin's gone right out the back door, and Red Cadeau's running on into the home straight now. They've got 2 furlongs left to go, and Aiken's the first to strike for home. He's gone 3 in front, but here's Sea Moon produced on the outside. Sea Moon ranges up and grabs the lead with a furlong and a half to go, and he's starting to power clear. They're clear of Jackalbury running on from Fiorenti, and Red Cadeau battling on with Hunter's Light, but Sea Moon's 4 in front. About 100 yards left to go. It's Sea Moon. It's all Sea Moon as they race up towards the line. Sea Moon's going to win the Hardwick by 3 or 4 lengths. Dunedin got a second wind and ran on for second. In third then Red Cadeau, followed further back then by Aiken and Jackalbury and Fiorenti. They were followed by Hunter's Light, and behind they were followed then by Testosterone and Memphis, Tennessee. 3-1 favourite, the winner, that's number 12, Sea Moon, ridden by Ryan Moore, and didn't he win? Have a look at him. He's gone to the line. He had it won with that burst of speed inside the furlong and a half. He's won it by 3.5 to 4 lengths. And a happy man, Sir Michael Stout. Sea Moon at 3-1 in favourite. Dunedin 9-2, Red Cadeau 9-1. Distances.
There are millions of flags, ties, Australians. It's unlike any day I can remember.
It is, and
Federation Square, we're hopefully going to see a couple of thousand people brave the cool conditions and come and watch Black Caviar, hopefully cross the fingers, storm to victory.
There we are, and that's Black Caviar. What
why is nothing drifting? You front, let's see her win in the place in ruck. That's what we want.
Caviar's got away to a good start. Society Rock began badly. Soul is going to be the early leader. Out in the centre, Black Caviar travelling on the near side, getting a lead. Yankee, then Serious Prospect, who's at the tail of the field as they race up now towards halfway. And Soul the leader from Bogart, and now Black Caviar ambling up on the near side in third. They're a length to Escalade, followed by Krypton Factor and Jimmy Stars and Restia d'Argent, and further back is Yankee. But as they come up now onto the course proper, 2 furlongs left to go. Soul is the leader. Now Nolan starts to shake the reins at Black Caviar. She starts to move up on the near side. She draws level now with a furlong left to go. Now he says go on the mare. She gets about a half length in front of Soul. Restia d'Argent, Moonlight Cloud coming home fast, but it's Black Caviar in front with 100 yards left to go. Here's Restia d'Argent and Moonlight Cloud. He eases up near the line. Here's Moonlight Cloud. It's tight. Black Caviar and Moonlight Cloud in a photo. She gets about a half length in front of Soul. Restia d'Argent, Moonlight Cloud coming home fast, but it's Black Caviar in front with 100 yards left to go. Here's Restia d'Argent and Moonlight Cloud. He eases up near the line. Here's Moonlight Cloud. It's tight. Black Caviar and Moonlight Cloud in a photo. In third then Restia d'Argent, followed by Soul. Further back is Krypton Factor, and then Serious Prospect back in the field from Society Rock. Bogart the last to finish. He has eased near the line, and this is tight. Black Caviar flashing home down the outside.
My goodness, drama. The cheers went up for Black Caviar. She looked to have the race in the bag, but on the line, I think she's
about her business. And we've got two finishers down this side. And just now, he's coming to the line. He thinks he's home and hose. He stops riding. Then all of a sudden, they're on top of the line. Oh, my word, that could have been a disaster. Bad, that couldn't.
Marshall trade a Betfair SP of 1.27, traded at 1.98 in running. As the most traded horse in a race in Betfair's 12-year history, of the £13.2 million traded on the Diamond Jubilee, and amated on the Diamond Jubilee, an amazing 12.6 million centered on Black Caviar. That is enormous money. And anyone marvelous shares of the crowd. Fantastic. There'll be plenty more from the Black Caviar Royal, but we'll be back here.
Next run and winner today. So we're extremely proud of her. She's 22 for 2022. It's never been about margins. It's never been about dominance. Heard you talking.
Was watching overnight is Black Caviar at Royal Ascot. An extraordinary performance. Almost came undone on the line.
Unbelievable, Joe. Amazing scenes. The drama, the debate, the theatre. It was just what this mare's done for world racing is just something that I've never seen ever, and I'll probably never see it again. She's brought world racing to a standstill. Got her in order, but clearly she wasn't at her best. She wasn't at her best, and she still got the job done. The Poms might want...
Hit a brick wall.
Yeah, she has. Look, when she's at her best, she would have raced away. This is where she'd be at her best, racing away from this field, and she's found so much under pressure in the past, but she is out on her feet. Anyway, she's got the job done, and what can you say about her? She's just an outstanding champion, and what a great call from the caller there, a graphic race call from that fellow that called it. Of her, we had Frankel drawing 40,000 to Royal Ascot on the first day. She drew 80,000 on there on the last day. So it just shows you the power of Black Caviar, which...
Gota, never barrack of Royal Ascot, Gota. Never barrack so hard in my life in the last 100 metres of a race without having a bet. And to just but on ratings and times, and they're not everything, but she had to win. If she ran up to her best, that's a 6 or 7 length victory. So that's how far she was below her best.
Tory rides for Robert Cowell. Big negative now. Pearl's Secret out to 7.5 to 1, and Soul Power out to 9 to 1 on the exchange. I called it wrong early doors back. I thought that Ortensia couldn't be favourite. But because of the lack of support for the locally trained Pearl Secret and Soul Power, it means he's only got to take on Bated Breath. Now, Bated Breath has been backed as well, and it's close between favouritism. Ortensia just shading it back.
4 to 1 joint favourites, Bated Breath and Ortensia, and this is the biggest field ever for the Coolmore Nunthorpe. There were 17 in 2002 and 1998, and Ortensia leading in again. 7 to 2 now, Ortensia with 4.
Hortensia's well back at the moment. Also out the back is Secret Witness and Dandy Boy, and Pearl Secret away to the left. Yellow Jacket, White Face got a lot to do, and on the extreme left, Soul Power is now making some headway. It's Bogart, Beyond Desire, Masama. Hamish McGonigal on the far side, Spirit Course is chasing them. They're followed by Bated Breath on the stand side with Soul Power, and then Monsieur Joe. They head towards the final furlong. Last year's runner-up, Hamish McGonigal, probably just leads to Spirit Course. Hortensia is finishing well on the far side now. Then Beyond Desire, racing inside the final 100. Spirit Course, Hortensia is thrusting home very late. The Aussie mare's got Hortensia's won for Nunthorpe. Glorious Goodwin and York. 2 running. What a great performance. Beyond Desire, Masama. Hamish McGonigal on the far side, Spirit Horse is chasing them. They're followed by Bated Breath on the stand side with Soul Power, and then Monsieur Joe. They head towards the final furlong. Last year's runner-up, Hamish McGonigal, probably just leads to Spirit Course. Hortensia is finishing well on the far side now. Then Beyond Desire, racing inside the final 100. Spirit Course, Hortensia is thrusting home very late. The Aussie mare's got there. Hortensia's won for Nunthorpe. Glorious Goodwin and York. 2 running. What a great performance. What a late one. Spirit Course in second. Then Hamish McGonigal, followed by Hugh Rohr, and they trail back to Monsieur Joe and Tiddlywinks. Well, what a mare this is. Hortensia in the hands of William Buick. Ortensia absolutely flying home. She was miles back in the early stages in the orange and white striped.
Brilliant stuff, wasn't it? 7-year-old mare. She went to Arrowfield to have a rest and be retired to stud. Now she's won in Dubai, twice in the UK. A great international performance by Paul Massar. And also Leah, the girl who's been looking after this horse for 6 or 7 months on the fly with Ortensia. Well done to Alistair Fraser, Emma Ridley. What about this? How did it win?
Incredible win. Just don't do that in these sort of races. She just kept surging to the line. You thought she was absolutely beaten and going to run at best a nice sort of 5th or 6th, but William Buick commented after the race that that was the fastest last 2 furlongs that he's ever ridden on any horse that he's ever sat on. He sat on some good ones, and she was going beaten and going to run at best a nice sort of 5th or 6th, but William Buick commented after the race that that was the fastest last 2 furlongs that he's ever ridden on any horse that he's ever sat on. He sat on some good ones, and she was going right away from them on the post too.